I step into the octagon, there's no one more focused, determined, and sure of what they're capable of.
This fight is everything for me. You know, building a legacy. I've already beat all these legends. Now I beat Luke. He's been talking a lot. I want to completely dismantle him.
My opponent does not have any idea what's coming. There's a thunderstorm coming, and I'm gonna go in there and perform and put on a masterpiece and put my opponent away.
O Conor pode acreditar quem ele for, mas ele sabe quem é o verdadeiro campeão. Enquanto eu estiver aqui, ele nunca vai ser o campeão.
The wait is finally over. We welcome you inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This is UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor. Sponsored by EA Sports, UFC 2, fight for the cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? We'll find out tonight who joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2. Available this spring on Xbox and PS4. Tonight's SAP brought to you by UFCEspanol.com. Tonight's broadcast available in 100% Spanish. Let's get things started. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. There have been few as any as dominant and destructive as Jose Aldo. There may have been none as polarizing and popular, at least in his home country, than Conor McGregor, the notorious one, looking to make his own bit of history tonight in our main event. My partner, as always, Joe Rogan. We see it all the time, Joe. This is the greatest fight ever. This is the greatest fight ever. And tonight, we might have the greatest fight ever again.
Well, they're all the greatest fight ever. So they happen, and then the next fight's the greatest fight ever.
Right?
This is easily the most anticipated featherweight title fight ever. And it's the first time that a great fighter like Jose Aldo has been humiliated and disrespected and forced to play the mental games that Conor McGregor is such a master at. And I think that's a big factor in this fight. But it could easily be a factor that works against Conor McGregor if Jose Aldo starts kicking his ass. Look, there's a lot of pressure you put on yourself when you talk a lot of trash. But the love and respect that this guy gets from the Irish fans is almost impossible to describe unless you're there at that weigh-in and you feel the roar. But look at this. When we saw Jose Aldo mocking Conor McGregor's stance,
Stole the pose.
Conor didn't seem to like it. It seemed like he was trying to get some of that momentum back.
Featherweight champion Jose Aldo, so destructive. The leg kicks are his key to many victories.
He hasn't lost in 10 years, and he's fought every single person they put in front of him, beating people down, stopped people like right there against Chad Mendes in the first fight, nasty leg kicks, and I think a big factor in this fight, one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ground games in the division. We just rarely see it because of his power, and that's something that Conor McGregor has in bunches. He's got serious knockout power. He also has some really unorthodox movement. He's very difficult to time, and he's very deceptive in his range. It's a really, really intriguing, who knows what's going to happen championship fight.
Well, it's about time that it's going to happen. Very precise with his striking. Conor McGregor, co-main event, title on the line, unbeaten. Chris Weidman against a man who has a ton of confidence, if you will, Luke Rockhold.
Unbelievable confidence, but both guys do.
Yeah.
They were both talking trash to each other at the weigh-ins, but both guys believed every word that came out of their mouth. This is a really interesting fight in that Chris Weidman is a monster. He's just a tough wrestler with knockout power and an unbelievable will. Incredible belief in himself and success over guys like Lyoto Machida, Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort. But Luke Rockhold is peaking. He is in his prime, and his performance against Lyoto Machida was nothing short of sensational. His victory over Michael Bisping was stunning. You see there that body kick against Costa Philippou. He's got nasty power, and he's really good at staying on the outside. He also has excellent takedown defense, regularly training with the former heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez, and of course the light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. So he gets great training, especially with the wrestling. This is a really, really intriguing fight, and again, another who knows what's gonna. You might guess right, you might predict right, but it's really just a guess.
He also said, I train with champions. Luke said this, he trains with jabronis. We'll see what that means later on. I know one thing, tonight is a night where we are set for a great night of fights. And here's a look at the rest of tonight's pay-per-view card. And we start in the welterweight division, as second-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Damian Maia fights inside the octagon for the 22nd time against Renzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt Gunnar Nelson. And at middleweight, Jacare Souza finally faces the Soldier of God, Yoel Romero, the Olympic silver medalist in freestyle wrestling, who is 6-0 in his UFC career. We go inside the locker room of highly talented Hawaiian Max Holloway, who at just 24 years old has already earned 10 UFC victories and looks to extend his 7-fight win streak against Jeremy Stephens, who made his UFC debut at age 21 in 2007. And tonight enters the octagon for the 22nd time, looking for his 18th career win by knockout. Our rules at the octagon: 3 judges, 3 5-minute rounds. Tonight's 2 championship fights are scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point plus scoring system is in effect, with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. Tonight's UFC 194 is presented in high definition by the new movie, The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson, in select theaters December 25th. Well, we know who's at the top of the ladder at 145 pounds, but we start with a very good showcase of the depth, Joe, of that division. The young Hawaiian Max Holloway going against the veteran Jeremy Stephens. We'll start with the Hawaiian.
And this is a spectacular fight, Mike, because you have volume with Max Holloway. Really good submissions as well against Thunder. Jeremy Stephens is one of the biggest knockout strikers in this division. So these two guys are fighting for a top spot in the 145-pound division. And in my opinion, both guys are capable of beating anybody in the division up until the championship level. And they're vying for the position to get there.
It is a great place to start. Set to fight in the octagon for the 22nd time, Jeremy Stephens still remembers what it's like to be the young gun. But tonight, he wants to show the latest phenom, Max Holloway, that there's no substitute for experience. With the featherweight division taking center stage this weekend, a standout performance could mean the difference between a big 2016 and a move to the middle of the pack. Max Holloway and Jeremy Stephens are determined to make sure they're left standing at the top.
There's a lot going on in the 145-pound division this week. You know, that's really not my focus. My focus is fully on Max Holloway, going out there, dominating, getting my hand raised.
Tonight I got a hard fight with Jeremy Stephens in the octagon, and that's all I'm focused for. You know, title shot talks can talk after, but right now Jeremy got my attention. I'm gonna go out there and put on a show like I always do and show the world who Max Holloway is.
Coming up, a third-round knockout of Dennis Bermudez, which showed that few competitors are as good as he is in a firefight. Iowa Stevens has fought his way back into the featherweight top 10, and he's hungry for more, namely a win over young gun Max Holloway.
Max is a great challenge for me at 145 pounds. He's very elusive. He's an unpredictable striker, as where I'm pretty good with the basics. I feel like I'm more higher percentage and have higher knockouts and higher finish rates at the basics, and I plan on beating him that way.
Looking to secure a record 8th straight win in the UFC featherweight division, Hawaii's Holloway has skyrocketed up the 145-pound ladder with finishes of Charles Oliveira, Cub Swanson, Akira Corsani, and Andre Fili, quickly moving him from prospect to contender. Tonight, he could make a case for a title shot with a win over Stevens.
When I beat Jeremy Stevens tonight, I'm gonna send a message to the rest of the division and show that this young kid is ready and ready for whatever, you know, whatever UFC wants, I'm ready.
Born in Iowa, training at Alliance MMA in San Diego, California, Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens, who made his UFC debut at UFC 91, right here, Joe, the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and he beat none other than Rafael Dos Anjos with a huge left uppercut. That was November of 2008.
A spectacular knockout, and that's something that Jeremy Stevens threatens in every single one of his fights. He's always capable of knocking you out and deep into the fight. He carries that knockout power well into the later rounds, and he's always looking for it. It's a constant threat. He's not a guy that throws a lot of half-speed stuff. Everything he throws is a bomb, and it makes him so terrifying. He also has been super successful doing that. And the last fight against Dennis Bermudez was a beautiful example of that. Lulled him into a false sense of security. Dennis comes in and he catches him with a perfectly timed flying knee. And I like what he said in the pre-fight video, that he is more high percentage basics, and that's a really good assessment of the difference in the style they're fighting, because Max is wild and loose, he throws a lot of spinning techniques, and he's got a real high volume, but Jeremy is a one-hit quit guy.
Joe, let me recheck my timeline. 2007 UFC 71, Stevens, Dean Thomas, the big knockout of the night. UFC 91 right here. Tonight, Jeremy Stevens back in the octagon for the 22nd time, as will be Damian Maia.
Well, Jeremy Stevens is still only 29 years old. It's really incredible. We look at Max Holloway as being this young kid. Jeremy's 5 years older than him. But Max Holloway is the guy that people are talking about right now, because his win streak against really high-level competition has been quite impressive as of late.
Jeremy Stevens trained in the past with ruthless Robbie Lawler. Look where Lawler is today. Stevens would like to work towards that same form. Top 5 ranking, 7-fight win streak. 24-year-old Hawaiian Max Holloway, who Joey talked about being at a crossroads back in 2013 when he had a very close fight with Dennis Bermudez. He fought Conor McGregor in Boston, but then came back in Singapore and finished Will Choke.
Well, he's a kid. I mean, this guy is 24 years old, and we've been watching him learn and grow inside the octagon for the last 3 years. And this past year has, without a doubt, been his most successful and most impressive. Victories over Charles Oliveira, Cub Swanson, Cole Miller, knocking out Akira Corsani. I mean, he's just looked amazing and better in every fight. And when you're young and hungry and dedicated and disciplined like Max Holloway, with great training partners and great trainers, you see these big jumps and leaps. These 20-year-old kids, 24-year-old kids, that's where the big growth is, and Max is at the door of championship caliber performances.
And Joe, a very interesting storyline. Max Holloway resembles Anthony Pettis. Jeremy Stevens brought Holloway to San Diego in preparation for his fight against Anthony Pettis. So they know each other, they respect each other, they collide here live on pay-per-view.
That is going to be interesting. And sometimes when guys have trained together, they show too much respect for each other. But sometimes when guys have trained together, there's none of that, because one guy knows he has the advantage. We don't know who that guy is. We may find out right now.
Both of these men entered the octagon at a very young age. UFC debut for this man, Max Holloway, age 20. Holloway, Stevens. Our tale of the tape for this featherweight fight is brought to you by the new movie The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson, in select theaters December 25th. As Joe mentioned, Stevens only 29 years old. Holloway is a little bit taller, but it's Stevens who will have the 2-inch reach advantage. Let's get this pay-per-view officially started with none other than Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas for UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor, presented by EA Sports UFC 2, Fight for the Cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? Find out tonight who joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2, available this spring on Xbox One and PS4. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 24 wins, 11 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of San Diego, California, by way of Des Moines, Iowa, presenting the number 8 ranked featherweight contender in the world, Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 14 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Waianae, Hawaii, presenting the number 5 featherweight contender in the world, Max Blessed Holloway. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
So Herb Dean will help us get started. Don't forget, all night, UFC fans, let your voice be heard. Tell us who you think is winning each fight by following us at UFC on Twitter. Takes 1 click to vote. You help us score the fight. See all the results live. See where your vote stacks up. Here we go. The beginning of our pay-per-view. Jeremy Stevens, Max Holloway. White trunks for Little Heathen. Black trunks for Blessed Max Holloway. Southpaw stance, both men switching back and forth. Both men, Joe, can flow very comfortably from orthodox to southpaw and back and forth. 7 straight wins for Holloway, 6 finishes, 3 bonuses.
And Max Holloway usually takes more of a high volume, fast footwork approach, whereas Jeremy tends to really dig in and throw bombs.
The Irish are here. You're gonna hear that all night long. Sold out, MGM Grand Garden Arena. 1 minute into our first fight here on pay-per-view.
So far, good rhythm by Jeremy.
Stevens, 17, Joe, of his 24 wins by knockout. You talked about how he's good with the striking.
Yeah, it's also, I like what he's doing with switching the stances, varying the looks that he's given Max Holloway. Max Holloway just looking for his range, trying to find the rhythm, looking for some openings, but so far not seeing them, but also being very respectful of the fact that Jeremy Stevens is always ready to uncork a bomb.
Absolutely.
So he wants to make sure that he's in a good position when he does attack.
Trying to go with that kick to the body of Stevens.
They both exchange kicks there. Yeah. He's been being very respectful of the power of Stevens. Not trying to meet him in the middle and bang with him. There's a good leg kick by Stevens. He's trying to constantly move and give him an elusive target. Ooh, good combination there by Max.
Jeremy was 21 when he debuted in 2007. As I mentioned, Max, 20 years old when he debuted in 2012, taking the fight on 4 weeks' notice.
Good right hook there by Max.
Heavy kicks being thrown by Stevens. To the body again.
Threw a little stutter step there before he did that to gauge Jeremy's reaction.
We have truly seen Holloway grow up inside the octagon. 13 of his 17 pro fights have been in the UFC.
He's also incredibly confident right now, Mike. His last few wins have really sort of vindicated him and validated all his hard work.
I read the description, Holloway Joe, balanced, smooth, under control, steady. And that does, as you mentioned, that comes with confidence.
Let's work.
Good takedown defense so far by Holloway and good short knee to the body. Good wrist control also by Holloway. Good grip on the right wrist of Jeremy Stevens.
Holloway pushes forward here. Stevens trying to get back to the center of the octagon.
But a very smart, cautious approach. Always wary of the possible repercussions. Always worried about the counter by Stevens.
Holloway misses, ducked under by Stevens. Lead uppercut, just a little tap. Stevens, 24 career wins. About half of those inside the octagon.
It was a hard inside leg kick by Stevens. But Holloway, most of these exchanges is dictating what happens. It was a nice outside leg kick.
Total strikes thus far. +5, Max Holloway. +4. Stevens again, just ducked under, Joe. Can he get it? Round one in the books.
Sit down. Breathe. Breathe. How you doing? You okay? Alright. Breathe now. This stance is going to be a problem. Yeah. Okay. That's right, bro. His defense won't be that good. That stance switch, right? So you go to the stance switch. He's going to pick off the leg kicks. Yeah. Let's go. Bang. Hey, he quickly changes. As soon as you do that, you change stance right, okay? I need you to not stop forcing now. Okay? A little bit more towards your right, okay? You're going to force the issue a little more. You can't let up. Okay?
You can extinguish him. You can get him there. Go.
Jeremy, his head hunting you. You understand me? His head hunting you. I want you to throw to that body, and do the combination.
Jeremy.
No kick, son.
Go ahead.
Don't stay too long.
Hey, look at me. You're in shape.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Hey, be relentless. Hey, Jeremy.
Perfect. Just combinations.
Interesting, Mike. Jeremy's corner was calling for him to throw no kicks. And I wonder what that's about. Watch his head kick KO of Honey Jason. Jeremy Stevens can kick.
Round two. They feel he can go low, he can counter, he can punish the body of Holloway. There's the kick. Lead uppercut missed. To the body.
Beautiful shot to the
That's
body.
what they talked about, Joe. Holloway up the middle.
Holloway's very good at just getting just out of range of danger.
Absolutely. He's got that long frame. Works very well with his striking game.
And he's also, he frustrates guys and gets them, because of his elusive footwork and all his movement, it gets them to the point where they're waiting on him. And then he initiates the movement. Like this exchange here.
Holloway's really a fighter that, you know, rarely sees his cardio go away. He's got a real unlimited gas tank.
Well, he has a great work ethic, Mike.
Yeah.
But as we're seeing here in his approach, like Jeremy waits on him and then he attacks. So he's dictating these exchanges, and Jeremy's got to take that back. Jeremy's got to get after him and put real pressure on him.
the way Conor McGregor fought him.
Oh, body again.
He got countered with that
Yes,
right
he
hand
did.
to the top.
3.5 on the clock here, round 2. Spin.
Nice, spinning back.
Caught the leg, though.
A good defense. Again, this is kind of how we saw this coming in. Higher volume by Max Holloway, but scarier consequences in the attacks of Jeremy Stephens.
For sure. Really working hard for the takedown. Not going to happen, at least thus far.
And again, good wrist control by Holloway. There's a tight grip, and he's out. See, when Jeremy goes to push forward, Max isn't there. But when Max goes to push forward, Jeremy's standing his ground, looking to counter.
Yeah.
See the difference here? Oh. Oh! Both guys landed in that exchange.
2 minutes on the clock here in the second.
It's almost like Jeremy Stephens has too much confidence in his power.
Yeah.
Like he loads up so much, he's been so successful with it, it's almost a bit of a curse. Because if he would throw combinations a little bit more fluidly and more technically, he might get more knockouts. But you can't say that because when he does win by knockout, he digs in and lands a bomb.
Yeah. He's got that one strike knockout power, and so far perfect takedown defense for Holloway.
Really good takedown defense by Max Holloway.
Jeremy has that Iowa wrestling background, born in Des Moines, Iowa. It's over a minute now on the clock in the second.
Good right hand on the break by Holloway. And then out of range. He shows good angles too, Mike. When he's moving back at an angle.
Yeah.
And oftentimes countering. Like he's never moving straight back. You watch him, or he does move straight back, he immediately corrects it.
40 on the clock now.
Jeremy, again, working really hard for these takedowns.
30 seconds.
And it could be, Mike, that he's just trying to slow Holloway
For
down.
sure.
Wear him out, get him close enough, because as we said, Jeremy carries his power deep into the rounds.
20. Round 2, close fight so far. Number 5, Holloway. Number 8, Stephens. Kick checked. Final 10 seconds.
Beautiful right hand by Max Holloway. And there's another one. Excellent check right hand. There's another right hook.
He's literally controlling the range right now. So we probably lost that round. I don't know who got the first one. We need to fucking take him out the third round. All right? Look at her. Deep breath. Deep breath. Listen, man. 1-7-3-2. You land that kick, get after it. You spin him a little bit, get after it. Throw fucking mean hooks from both sides. I'm cool with it, man. You spin that leg a little bit off balance. Right hand, left hook, right hand. Deep breath, man. You're not even breathing hard. Let's get after it. Stand up.
More volume,
Let's go,
man.
man.
Hit the feints, especially when he's loading up. You're doing good. We need more volume, okay? Need more volume? You gotta move out to your right, okay? Yes, sir. It's a stalemate every time you go right. Let's do this. Let's do this. All around, man. Let's do this.
Jeremy Stephens' corner adamant, telling him that he needs to win by knockout. The problem with that, of course, is the loading up is what Max Holloway's been capitalizing on. Max's corner calling for feints and to catch him while he's loading up. Higher volume and catch him in those transitions where you see him bite down his mouthpiece and dig in. Good uppercut by Max Holloway, and Max Holloway with the takedown. Wow. Holloway moves into half guard on top. Good left hand by Holloway. And another. Max Holloway controlling the hand of Jeremy Stephens. He's got his left hand tied up with that excellent wrist control that we had talked about earlier.
Good start for Holloway.
Max Holloway working towards an arm triangle on the left arm of Jeremy Stephens. I mean, it's going to be really hard for him to pull this off up against the cage unless he can separate and get some space, but he is shoving his head into the armpit there. Now he's abandoned that. Holding onto the neck of Stephens. Trying to get Stephens to carry his weight, takes the back. Spins.
One hook in.
Beautiful. He's got a hand under the chin. It's on the chin right now, not under the neck. Jeremy Stephens is in trouble. That's a tight grip. It's on the chin, though.
Gives it up for now, Joe.
Abandons it in half guard still, but total control of Jeremy Stephens here. Jeremy on full defensive mode. In a round where his corner told him he had to win.
Yes.
Big elbow by Holloway. And again, he's looking for that arm triangle, Mike, guaranteed. He's setting it up, and he's using it to spin to the back now. He's got to be careful, though. He's got to control the body. He needs a body triangle here, because Jeremy Stephens is going to spin on him.
Joe very patient, looking for this submission finish. Jeremy takes a look at the clock.
Jeremy's going to try to spin towards his right, which is the correct way to do it now anyway, because he's got the choke. You want to always turn towards the choke. Now he's got the choke on the other hand. Jeremy just in a spider trap here.
Holloway looking to advance to an 8-fight win streak.
And he's hitting him to the body. Now Jeremy tried to spin and Holloway immediately adjusted. Great grappling by Holloway, but Jeremy's back up.
Nicely done, Jeremy Stephens.
Back up and desperate with 2 minutes to go. Knowing he's well behind in this round and this fight.
Yeah, he's got to get it going right here, Joe.
Well, he's got to win by knockout or submission, most likely.
On the break. Under 2. Keep in mind, though, Jeremy Stephens always 1 strike away from victory.
He landed a good left hook there. But Max Holloway seems to be the fresher fighter here.
Absolutely.
Especially Jeremy having to carry his weight while they were on the ground like that.
Good movement by Holloway.
Well, his corner had anticipated the load up, and they were telling him lots of feints, lots of movement, catch him when he's coming in and he loads up. And see, when he's loading up, Max just slides out of there. But Jeremy's right in front of him right now. Here's a good kick by Jeremy.
But Joey just slides just a bit out of harm's way and then returns fire.
There's a big takedown attempt by Jeremy Stephens. He's gonna need more than that.
8th takedown attempt for Stephens. 8 for 8. Max Holloway with his takedown defense.
Excellent defense by Holloway. I'm very, very impressed with his wrestling. Oh, spinning elbow. And again with that left hook.
Nice featherweight showcase as we go in the corner of Jeremy Stephens, Eric Del Fiore.
1732, Jeremy, hell! Again! Go, Jeremy, finish! Got it, 30! Go, Jeremy! Yeah, you go!
There he is advancing, but just 20, Joe, on the clock.
Jeremy, 15 seconds, punch!
It's just not enough time to clinch, though.
Now, don't stop! Don't stop! Go!
You hear it.
Go! Go, Jeremy, go!
Del Fiore saying, don't stop, don't stop.
He is swinging for the bleachers here.
Wow. They go the distance.
Wow.
It's a great way to start.
I continue to be impressed by Max Holloway. He continues to improve. His judgment of distance and range is excellent. And his ability to not be there when he catches his opponent trying to counter him and load up.
Joe, take a look at our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
The counter right hands of Max Holloway. There you see, look at this. Oh. Boom, look at that right hook. Here's another one. Oh, there's a kick by Jeremy Stephens. And here is the one takedown of the fight. And it was executed by Holloway, and a lot of ground and pound by Max Holloway. There's a nice left hook. Really caught Jeremy Stephens clean. And that's the end of the fight.
Great show of class and respect, Holloway, Stephens. And now it's time for our official decision, brought to you by Metro PCS, where you get nationwide coverage on the blazing fast 4G LTE T-Mobile network for just $30 period. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Max Blessed Holloway.
8 straight. Here's Joe.
First and foremost, I gotta thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, this awesome tree man, and one of the men in the crowd, my team, Hawaii MMA, Gracie Technics, Legacy Muay Thai, Tactical Strength Conditioning, Dana, Lorenzo. I heard there's a talk coming to Hawaii. I got 2 possible fights next. This is H2 inning streak. I know this wasn't the prettiest, but what you guys said about Holloway versus McGregor too, and that little soccer video you guys won at Croke Park, or Holloway versus Aldo at Hawaii.
You're very worked up, Max Holloway, and you deserve to be. You had a great performance, and you're on a great win streak right now, Max, and I attribute that, a lot of it, and especially your success here, with your excellent judgment of range and distance. Was anything about this fight tonight surprising to you?
Yeah, you know, he hit a little harder than I thought he would, you know. Everybody's saying you trained with him before, but that was like 3 years ago, you know, but it is what it is. It was one of the prettiest ones. People's gonna remember of me, this horrible showing. I can't wait for my next one.
It wasn't a horrible showing at all. It was a great fight. Don't be hard on yourself. You took him down. Was that something you had planned on in this fight, or did you just act on the spur of the moment?
You know, I'm a mixed martial artist, and I think I had a couple times where I could have took him down in the first couple rounds, so I had to threaten him now, you know. I felt like I had to show a little bit more. I'm a mixed martial artist, guys. I'm not just a striker. They think I'm a striker, but I got jiu-jitsu, I got wrestling. I'm growing with the sport. I can't wait.
Well, you're one of the best contenders in the division. Congratulations on an excellent performance against a very, very tough guy. Max Holloway, ladies and gentlemen.
Max Holloway, 7 straight wins at 145. You saw graphically, tied for #1 with the man who will be featured in our main event of the evening, Jose Aldo. Speaking of main events, welcome 2016 with ruthless Robbie Lawler and the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit. First fight in the books. Great action still ahead here inside the Octagon. UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor is being brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. By Metro PCS, where you get nationwide coverage on the blazing fast 4G LTE T-Mobile network for just $30 period. And by the new movie, The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson in select theaters December 25th. Tonight's arrivals are sponsored by Harley-Davidson, the only motorcycle worthy of being in the Octagon. Roll your own. Jose Aldo, the longest reigning champion in the UFC today, has won 18 straight fights, held the featherweight belt for over 5 years, and has not lost since November of 2005. His opponent, the interim champ, Conor McGregor, who's riding a 14-fight win streak, has earned 16 of his 18 professional wins by knockout, including 5 of those in the Octagon, and is confident that he will end the night as the undisputed UFC featherweight champion.
What's your problem? Bored? Stop whining and watch a fight. Not just a fight, pretty much every MMA fight worth watching. How? UFC Fight Pass, that's how. It's a digital streaming service with the world's largest fight library, original shows, and exclusive live events. That's thousands of fights being through your eyeballs and into your brain. Anywhere, anytime. Problem solved. UFC Fight Pass. Fighting solves everything.
Oh, and a big thank you to all of our Fight Pass subscribers around the world. And how about this one for all of you? UFC Fight Pass already has the biggest fight library in the world. It's also your destination for exclusive live prelims leading into every big event. How about this one? We have for you on UFC Fight Pass on the prelims on January 2nd. A fight that was supposed to happen in Dublin will happen on January 2nd. Dustin Poirier, Joseph Duffy, that will be the headliner, Joe, of the UFC Fight Pass prelims.
Excellent, excellent fight. Dustin Poirier, I love him at 155 pounds. I think he's just too big for 145. He's training himself at 155. He's very dangerous with some serious knockout power. And Joe Duffy is one of the most exciting young prospects in the division. You're talking about the guy who's the last guy to beat Conor McGregor. He submitted him, and his real strength is in his striking. He's had professional boxing bouts. He's got very clean technique in all the striking disciplines. And I think this is a really outstanding fight. And the winner is going to emerge as one of the top prospects in the 155-pound division, which is, of course, one of the most talent-rich divisions in the UFC. It's a very important fight.
So there you see it. It is live and exclusive on January 2nd. Dustin Poirier, Joe Duffy only on UFC Fight Pass. Again, a big thank you to all our Fight Pass subscribers around the world. It is the UFC's digital streaming service, UFCFightPass.com. Tonight it's UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor, sponsored by EA Sports UFC 2. Fight for the cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? Find out tonight who joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2. Available this spring on Xbox One and PS4. We just looked at the champion and the big challenger at 170, Joe. They lead a great group of warriors in the welterweight division.
This is an amazing division. This might be the era of the 170-pound division because it's really never been stronger. I mean, we're looking at it here. Look at this. Rory McDonald, Tyron Woodley, who's been waiting forever for a title shot. Johnny Hendricks, who will face Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Okay? Carlos Condit, of course, a former WEC champ, long-time contender. Matt Brown, one of the most dangerous guys in the division. Damian Maia, arguably right next to Jacare, the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy ever in MMA. Dong Hyun Kim, Stephen Thompson, of course, we talked about before. Neil Magny, who looked amazing against Calvin Gastelum. Tarek Safadine, Rick Story, Gunnar Nelson, and we didn't even bring up Tim Means, who was sensational last night. This is a rich, rich division with so many guys that have real, true championship-level talent.
As we are midway through the UFC's 9 Days of Fury, it's about time. As mentioned, the welterweight division has produced several sensational bouts in 2015. And as the year comes to a close, we've got a great matchup between Gunnar Nelson and Damian Maia. Two of the mixed martial arts world's premier grapplers will collide in Las Vegas tonight as Damian Maia and Gunnar Nelson meet in an intriguing welterweight showdown, expected to display plenty of elite ground fighting.
Well, this is the grappler dreams matchup, this fight. So everybody who grapples wants to see this match, and they want to see us go to the ground. So I think that's we're gonna go there and we're gonna have a few good scrambles.
Quando a luta for pro chão ou a luta ficar agarrada no jiu-jitsu, ninguém vai poder cometer um erro. O meu jiu-jitsu é bom, o jiu-jitsu dele é bom também. Qualquer erro vai possibilitar uma finalização.
Like Maia, Iceland's Nelson is a decorated jiu-jitsu black belt whose ground prowess has seen him submit 4 of his UFC opponents. But his most recent win, a first-round submission of Brandon Thatch, may have been his most impressive yet. as he used his ever-improving striking game to set up a tap-out in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, my fight with Brandon Thatch was a good one. Finished it in the first round, and I'm gonna keep it up.
A member of the UFC roster since 2007, Damian Maia is showing prime form since moving to welterweight in 2012, as he has won 6 of 8 bouts at 170 pounds, including 3 in a row. Fresh from a performance of the night submission of Neil Magny, Maia will now travel from his native Brazil to take on Nelson.
Eu quero ganhar do Gunnar essa noite porque eu quero ser campeão. E ele é uma das lutas mais difíceis que eu já tive nessa categoria de peso. Mas eu vou lá para vencer essa luta e poder ter a chance de disputar o cinturão.
The Icelandic, now Irish-loved Gunnar Nelson. Irish-loved because he does train with the SBG team, led by John Kavanagh, his teammate, Conor McGregor, and others, Paddy Houlihan, Cole Pendrin, who just retired, but Gunny's the real deal, Joe. 5-1 in the UFC, 14-1-1 overall.
Well, he's an outstanding grappler, and he has the least facial expressions of any man on earth. He keeps a stoic look on his face at all times. He's a very cool guy, very good under pressure, very elite grappler, as is Damian Maia. And oftentimes when guys are really good at grappling, the difference lies in the striking, and it winds up being a kickboxing match. If that is the case, Gunnar Nelson may have the advantage because he has shown much better kicking technique, and he has shown, especially in the fight with Brandon Thatch, that he is really developing his hand techniques as well. He has a brown belt in karate and employs that same sort of stance that Conor McGregor uses, the wide karate-style stance, and is really good with those type of techniques. So it may be a difference of distance, and it may be a difference of striking. We don't know until they get after it.
Gunny striking with Thatch, hurt him with strikes. That left hook right hand led to the submission in under 3 minutes.
Well, he's so decorated as a grappler and so respected and feared as a grappler that people forget that his original background was karate, and he's very good at it.
Gunnar Nelson, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt given to him by Renzo Gracie. Brown belt in karate. As Joe mentioned, Gunnar Nelson has it all. He'll fight from both stances. He's looking to take out the Brazilian Damian Maia. Damian Maia, second degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. 22nd UFC fight. We just saw Jeremy Stephens with number 22. Joe, going into tonight, over 1,500 fighters have appeared in the UFC. Only 28 have made it to 20 fights. That is 1.9%.
Well, Damian Maia, one thing to consider in this fight is that Damian Maia began his career much larger at 185 pounds. He was well over 200 when he would make his weight cut. He's leaned out considerably, and now he is one of the bigger 170-pound fighters. Gunnar Nelson is the guy who cuts very little weight to get to 170. He doesn't like to drain his body. He doesn't like the idea of dehydrating himself 24 hours for a contest, and he thinks the technique and skill are more important than size. He feels he fits well in the 170-pound division. Damian Maia, if they do grapple, though, will have a distinct size advantage. Will that matter? Especially when Gunnar Nelson is so talented at jiu-jitsu. We won't know. We won't know until they actually lock up and we find out what happens. But another thing to consider is that Damian Maia is not known as being the best kicker in the world. So we may see Gunnar Nelson operate at a much wider stance and a longer distance to keep Maia away so he can set up those punches with those leap-in karate-style blitzes like he used on Brandon Thatch.
First 13 fights inside the octagon for Maia were at 185. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight fight is brought to you by the new movie, The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson, in theaters December 25th. Look at that, the elder Over a decade difference, 11 years older, 2 inches taller, everything else identical. Two great grapplers gonna go head to head inside the octagon. With the official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 14 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Reykjavik, Iceland, Gunnar Nelson. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record, 21 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, presenting the 3-time World Cup Jiu-Jitsu champion and the number 6 ranked welterweight fighter in the world, Demian Maia! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, John McCarthy.
Big John McCarthy, our referee. Our first taste, Joe, here on pay-per-view of Ireland against Brazil, which will be the matchup in our main event of the evening.
People from Iceland right now are furious.
Yes, but I qualified it during the walk-in. He's from Iceland, but he trains in Ireland. I get it. Back myself up, at least
Look
I
at
hope.
that big, quick shot by Demian Maia. Closed the distance very quickly. Well, let's see how this grappling stacks up. Gunnar Nelson takes him to the ground, and on top, Demian Maia scrambles right back up to his feet. One thing to take into consideration, although I'm not a big fan of MMA math, they do have a common opponent in Rick Story, where Gunnar lost a decision to Rick Story, and Demian Maia absolutely strangled him. Manhandled him and strangled him in one of his first fights at 170 pounds.
UFC's teamed up with 7-Eleven to give fans a chance to win a new Harley-Davidson. Download the 7-Eleven app on a smartphone, verify your age for a chance to win the motorcycle. Also visit a local 7-Eleven store for additional ways to enter.
Gunnar with excellent control of the neck while Demian Maia is working for that single.
This is a high-level chess match right here.
It certainly is. Look at that beautiful trip, but Gunnar with an awesome adjustment on the fly and then stepped over again. Gunnar on top with beautiful movement here. He's got his leg trapped. And what Demian Maia wants to do is get deeper under the arm there and get behind his back and try to roll him back over. Gunnar Nelson with a short elbow. Gunnar on top here, in control, wants to free that leg. He wants to get that left leg out from in between the 2 legs of Demian Maia. It's almost out, and it is out, but now he lost that position where he's totally on top of him. Damian's on his side now, and Gunnar shoving that underhook. Look at this, steps over. Beautiful pass attempt by, this is some high-level stuff, folks.
Maia winner 3 straight, Joe, coming off a submission performance of the night by rear naked choke. Same can be said. Thatch was
got his back.
By rear
He's got his
naked.
back.
Now it's Maia trying to control.
He's got his back, and what Gunnar's going to try to do here is maintain his base and shake him off, and he can't do that. Demian flattens him out. Gunnar gets back up. What he wants to do is tire Damian's legs out and find an opportunity to try to shake him forward. The higher Damian's hips go on Gunnar's shoulders, there he rolled over, and he's trying to wind up on top, and now he's mounted.
Nicely done, Demian Maia. Full mount.
Big shots from the top by Demian Maia. He's going to give up his back, but Gunnar wants to spin. He wants to half give up his back and then turn back the other way again to try to reclaim half guard. But he's stuck because Demian Maia anticipated it, saw it coming, and trapped him. This is a brick wall on top of you here. This is not a normal mount. This is a world championship jiu-jitsu mount.
13 total finishes, 10 by submission for the Brazilian.
There's the big buck, but Demian holds the position. Gunnar could not buck him off, but again, Gunnar wants to shake him off the top. The higher Damian's hips get to Gunnar Nelson's shoulders, the easier it is for Gunnar to pop out the back. But Demian well aware of it. Look how he's got his legs locked up. Really clamped his legs down to hold that position.
Doing a nice job with his ground and pound as well. Striking, trying to break down Gunnar Nelson.
He's hurting him with these shots, but he can't commit to it too much because he needs one arm to post to keep his body on the back of Gunnar Nelson. Now he's switching to a body triangle, but this is a much more fragile position, the way he's got it right here. Now he's better. Now he's better because they went to the ground, and I believe he went to the ground on purpose to try to readjust. The body triangle holds Gunnar Nelson in place, and Gunnar's just got to keep his arms wrapped around his face and wait for his opportunity to try to move. But while Demian Maia has that body triangle on him, his body is essentially locked into that position. This is what Demian Maia used on Neil Magny. Demian looking to get that arm, the rear naked choke now, softening Gunnar Nelson out. Now he's got him flattened out. And Gunnar doesn't allow himself to totally get flattened, turns back around again. Beautiful control and jiu-jitsu by Demian Maia. This is the difference between a high-level black belt and one of the best of all time.
Final minute of round number 1. Total strikes, 60-1.
Hard elbows from Demian Maia.
30.
Gunnar Nelson has absorbed a lot of punishment here. Damian's gonna switch to an armbar.
20 seconds.
Gunner's in a lot of trouble.
Can he get it here? Can he finish this fight?
Nope.
Looking for
Look
it.
at that spin. Beautiful
Nicely
position.
done by Gunny.
Beautiful spin by Gunnar Nelson. Big shot from the top by Gunnar. Wants to step over that left leg, and he does. The right leg, excuse me. What a round. And here, look, a hard elbow right to the chin from Demian Maia. I don't think we've seen that before. From the back like that. That's beautiful. Now look, as soon as I saw him hook that arm, I'm like, he's gonna go for the arm. He switched beautifully from the back mount to the arm, but look at Gunnar Nelson, so aware and so ready to defend.
Back in the toes.
John
You're gonna pick
Kavanagh.
him off in the second round. Calm yourself down. Full recovery here. Meet him in the middle, get on the toes, pull those shots. This is their round now. He barely stood up at the end of that round.
Born in Iceland.
Here we go.
Training with the SPG team.
On your toes.
In Dublin, Ireland. And you heard the Irish fans react to when Nelson got that top position very late in the round, very short-lived, but nonetheless, he was able to reverse.
And he got it because Demian Maia was being very aggressive and went for that armbar.
Which, Joe, if you're going to do that, do it late in the round, right?
Yeah, watch for the kicks of Gunnar Nelson, especially from this position. Both guys standing wide open for the back power kick. Good movement there by Gunnar. John Kavanagh wanting them to stand in the center of the octagon, or wanting Gunnar to keep that in the center of the octagon. But he's got to always be worried about that bum rush, because the way Demian was able to control him right there. Deep shot, single. Dropped him down. He's trying to adjust, and he's on top now again. Very nice scrambling from Gunnar Nelson, but Demian staying with him, constantly driving forward, still holding onto the single, adjusting around the waist. Gonna try to trip that left leg. But Gunnar's gonna try to anticipate it and roll with him as he's done twice so far.
Gunnar. Yep, John McCarthy looking right at his hand, can't hold the fence. John pulls it away. Right in front of our broadcast position. See that perfectly. Maia, always so patient with his transitions.
And this is an interesting situation. Like, he keeps grabbing
Again,
that fence.
John pulls his hand.
Man, he's gonna get a point taken
He
away from him if he does
absolutely is,
that.
Joe.
Demian Maia is slowly working his way to Gunnar Nelson's back, Mike. He's got it.
Yep.
Beautiful job. Pulled that leg out. Knew Gunnar had to adjust. Got that second hook in because of it.
Half of his UFC wins by submission, 38-year-old Demian Maia.
And he's softening Maia up with these punches. And now Maia trying to hang on the back as Gunnar stands up.
We've seen this before.
As long as Gunnar keeps 2-on-1 here, 2 hands on 1, the choking arm, which is the one that's underneath his chin, he's relatively safe. But Maia has a body triangle wrapped around him, and he's hitting him hard with these punches.
Maia's really improved in this area, Joe. Not just the striking, but more so right here in the ground and pound and the grappling exchanges, dirty boxing, good strikes, landing for the Brazilian over and over.
Well, he's certainly putting some serious punishment down here on Gunnar Nelson as Gunnar tries to survive the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game,
in which he's very good at as well.
Well, there's very good, and then there's great. And that is what Demian Maia is. I mean, he is one of the very best to ever compete in MMA in the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
One of the, if not the most decorated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitor to ever enter the octagon, 5-time world champion. And Manny's done a great job locking the body of Gunnar Nelson.
Gunnar Nelson almost on top of him, and now he is.
Now Damian looks for the clock.
What's important is that butterfly, and then he just got that free. That was a beautiful job by Gunnar Nelson. It was just a manipulation of the feet of Demian Maia. It was only 1 foot that was keeping him from establishing a better position, and he got that foot off the knee.
Now will Nelson look for ground and pound in jiu-jitsu, or will he look to stand up? Well, not going to have the choice right here. Nice job. Demian Maia reverses, 90 seconds remaining in the second round.
Well, one thing to take into consideration is that Gunnar's been defending so much, Damian's been attacking, and Damian's been doing damage. That all saps the energy of Gunnar Nelson.
Maia said he knows Gunnar's talented, very good grappler. Says he's very dangerous in all positions, but so far so good for the native of Sao Paulo, Brazil. And a huge advantage in total strikes. Wow. 104 and adding.
Yeah, the amount of punishment that Gunnar's taken in these exchanges.
9th fight at 170 for Maia. 6-2 record.
Maia's staying on top here, establishing a good position with that shin pressing down on the thigh. Oh, these are hard elbows, Mike.
Over and over. Nelson nowhere to hide here.
But John McCarthy, being one of the best referees in the world, knows that Gunnar Nelson's a durable guy and he's not in trouble. So even though he took those shots, John's just standing by watching, letting him defend. Demian Maia moves to full mount. Very bad for Gunnar Nelson.
Final 10 seconds of the round.
Final 10 seconds, but a humiliating second round. Just being smushed and pounded on by Demian Maia.
Looking for his 4th straight win.
Let's breathe. That's it, breathe.
Faz postura para respirar melhor.
Posture up.
A luta tá ganha por pontos.
You've won the fight on points.
A luta tá ganha. A luta
The fight's won.
Ele vai ter que vir pro foda-se agora.
He's going to have to come with all or nothing right now. He's going to try to kick you. He's going to try to take you down.
Então, inteligência, o que a gente faz? O cara tá morto.
Actively, let's try and get that guillotine position. Work for top position off it. Don't pull guard on the guillotine. Wrap up the head and work for top position off it. There you go. You've got loads left. You've loads left.
Gunnar Nelson
wrap up the head and
had
stay
a
on
draw
top.
in his first pro MMA fight. He has won 14 of 15 since. Beautiful Ariani, Brittany, Chrissy, Vanessa. 3rd and final round.
Interesting that his corner is calling for him to grapple with Demian Maia. His corner is calling for him to get the guillotine position and work for the top.
Maia's corner, of course, Joe, as we heard, saying you've won this fight on points. You've won this fight on points. But let's not get passive. Let's not give him an opening.
Demian Maia far fresher here in his movements.
And again,
beautiful takedown. But again, Gunnar scrambles. Very nice scrambling. And there's this guillotine position that they were talking about. Let's see if he can work for the top here. It's one of Gunnar's best positions. Trying to hold on to the head, though, but his leg is still trapped. He's working for top position, just as John Kavanaugh asked him to do. Can he make the transition over the top? No. Damian cuts him at the pass, cuts him off.
Joe, I'll repeat what I said earlier. This is a high-level chess match between these two great grapplers.
It is. One of them a great grappler and one of them a true master. I mean, Gunnar Nelson he's a very exciting, very talented, skilled grappler, but Damian Maia's on another level.
Absolutely. And the man we're going to see still ahead here on pay-per-view too, Jacare Souza. Body head by Maia.
Yeah, Gunnar is in a really bad position here. He's been beaten up, he's been controlled, he's on the bottom, and he doesn't have a whole lot of options. Unless he can somehow or another get this fight standing and connect with a big shot, it's hard to imagine him winning. I mean, people make mistakes, they leave things out there, and a guy like Gunnar Nelson can most likely submit any man alive if he gets in the right position, but it's a tough task.
Been all Maia. Look how beaten and battered Gunnar Nelson is. Just over 3 minutes on the clock. Third and final round, another big elbow. Damian Maia is such a good human being and a great teammate. He's definitely trained with all the greats in Brazil and a lot in Los Angeles with Anderson Silva and the likes, and Luis Doria, the professor. Look at this, 141 to 5, perhaps the most lopsided in total strikes in UFC history.
It's like
gotta
for
be,
a
right?
third round fight, and it's just all been ground and pound. And he's got his back again. Damian Maia locks on that body triangle to keep Gunnar from turning into his guard. And Gunnar's just hanging on here. 2:20 to go, really just trying to survive. And he may have resigned himself to the fact that he's lost this fight, and he just wants to not get submitted.
Joe, Maia does such a great job at keeping that body triangle tight and controlling his opponent in that form.
He does, but see what Gunnar Nelson's done by turning towards the side where it's attached. He puts pressure on the ankle and makes it harder to really squeeze down on the internal organs. But it's really just, I mean, more pain on the ankle and the foot of Damian Maia, and he's still maintained the position.
And Maia's trying to punish the internal organs with those body
works
shots.
him back over again,
back
and
to the
puts it
good
on
side.
top.
Yep.
Yeah, now he can really dig in.
Don't forget, UFC fans, let your voice be heard. Tell us who you think is winning each fight by following @UFC on Twitter. It takes one click to vote on how you're scoring the fight. See all the results live. Find out how your vote stacks up. Follow @UFC on Twitter.
Work well, let's go.
I mean, he's telling Gunnar to work his way out, but good luck.
Man, he's really squeezing down now, Maia.
Yeah, but he doesn't have it. He's just kind of on his face. It hurts. It hurts your jaw, it hurts your face, but Gunnar Nelson's never going to tap from this. He's going to have to get it under the chin if he wants to submit him.
Just total domination by the #6 contender in the world, Damian Maia.
But what he's doing here, like in this position, he's not going to finish him. He's just going to beat him up unless he can somehow or another open up that chin. He needs to slide that arm under the chin, and Gunnar is just so seasoned. He knows how to defend himself, and he might not be able to do anything about it. But at least he's defending himself.
Damian just motioned with his hand. Something, not sure what it is, but now we've just got 15 seconds left. And he's controlling the posture of Nelson.
Yeah, I don't know what that was either. Who was he motioning to?
He may have had the early celebratory fist.
You think?
As he was winning. Possibly. He's definitely dominated Gunnar Nelson, the submission guy. Great performance by Damian Maia.
Yeah, truly dominant performance on the ground by Damian Maia.
Fight Replay brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
The story of this fight was just the brutal ground and pound. There's that from the back mount. And here he's pounding him while he's grappling with him standing. There's some nasty elbows by Damian Maia. It was really all Damian Maia in this fight. Very little success other than a few scrambles where Gunnar Nelson managed to get on top for some brief moments. Just a lot of punishment dished out by Damian Maia, but was not able to put away the durable Gunnar Nelson, who showed very good defense despite being overwhelmed.
Time for our official decision. It is brought to you by Metro PCS, where you get nationwide coverage on the blazing fast 4G LTE T-Mobile network for just $30 period. Damian Maia about to be awarded his 4th straight win. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 30-26, 30-25, and 30-25 for the winner by unanimous decision, Damian Maia.
I'm here with the winner, Damian Maia. And Damian, once again, you show that your jiu-jitsu is just on another level. Many times when 2 talented grapplers fight, it winds up being a stand-up exchange. Did you know coming into this fight that it would wind up the way it is, that you would wind up grappling?
At least in my case, I came to grapple. I believe in my jiu-jitsu, and I came for that. Gunnar asked for this fight, and we accept. Now, you know, I have 9 fights in this division, 7 wins, now 4 in a row. Everybody that I fought was ranked, and now I ask Chudana, Lorenzo, Joe, I want to fight the winner of Carlos Conde and Robbie Lawler for the title. I truly believe in my heart that I can be world champion of the world, and I want to have this chance.
Well, Gunnar Nelson is a very tough guy and a very durable guy, but that was about as dominant a performance on the ground as you can have inside the octagon. There's a few guys that are ahead of you in the rankings, though. What are your thoughts on the rankings themselves and where you fit in there?
You know what is weird? I won Neil Magny last fight by submission. Then after that he fought and he won. And then he fought and he won Gastelum again. And Gastelum, after the loss, he got two positions better, which is okay, he's a great fighter. But for me, I won Magny and I still 6th in the world. I don't know what happens, you know. This ranking must be more serious, you know, by numbers and, you know, like a mathematical formula. It's impossible to have like something just wish that this guy is better or the other one. I think it must be something more exact.
I agree with you, and I think your performance most certainly moves you up close to the top. Thank you very much. It was very, very impressive.
Obrigado, pessoal no Brasil. Tanto que tá lá no Brasil quanto que tá aqui. Vocês são demais. Eu amo vocês. Thank you all the Brazilian fans. Also thank you all the Irish fans here. You know, I met them yesterday at the hotel, and they all nice to me. You know, so thank you Brazilian, Irish fans, American fans, everybody for coming here. I love you guys. Thank you.
Damian Maia, ladies and gentlemen.
Been a really, really good night for the Brazilians thus far. And we have a Brazilian who is the UFC heavyweight champion of the world. That is Fabricio Verdum. Cain Velasquez, the former champion, here to watch his training partner Luke Rockhold, but set for the rematch. February 6th, UFC 196, Joe, right here, MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this rematch. A C-level Cain Velasquez versus Fabricio Verdum, and what a performance Fabricio put on Cain Velasquez in the first fight, and I guarantee you're going to see a hungry, motivated Cain Velasquez in the rematch. Will he be able to do anything about the beautiful skills and the improved striking of Fabricio Verdum? It's going to be awesome.
All right, also on the card, Super Bowl weekend, Johnny Hendricks, the big rig, against Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson of the big country, Jarrett Rochelle. How about Josh Berkman moving to 155?
That's crazy because Berkman has fought as high as 205 in the past, but man, the one that stands out right there, Johnny Hendricks and Stephen Thompson. Woo-wee, that's going to be fun. A very motivated Johnny Hendricks, really upset at his last performance, really upset at what he did in not making weight, and of course, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has really come into his own this past year, looked absolutely sensational against Jake Ellenberger, training on a regular basis with the middleweight champion, Chris Weidman. He's one of the dark horses in that 170-pound division.
Berkman, Nunes, Pyle, Spencer on the preliminary card right here, Super Bowl weekend. Verdum versus Velasquez, 2. All right, up next, a middleweight confrontation. Jacare. He's won his last 8 fights. He's 5-0 inside the octagon. And finally, on the 3rd try, the former Strikeforce champion meets the Olympic silver medalist, the Soldier of God, Yoel Romero, unbeaten inside the octagon. Ricardo Laborio at American Top Team said he's the best athlete on our team. Explosive, winner of 9 of 10 of his professional fights by knockout. So that marquee matchup is next. 1 week from tonight, one of the most beloved fighters in UFC history, Donald Cowboy Cerrone beats the champion, Javier Dos Anjos, live on Fox with the lightweight title on the line.
Next Saturday, the year ends big with a world lightweight title fight.
These are two of the elite in the UFC going at it.
Dos Anjos takes on the Cowboy, plus 2 heavyweight legends.
Unbelievable.
Dos Santos
just vicious.
Battles Overeem. And Nate Diaz returns to face Michael Johnson. UFC Fight Night, next Saturday, free and on Fox.
Rematch time, Joe. Dos Anjos, Cerrone, 2013. By far the biggest win at that time of Dos Anjos' career when he took down Cowboy.
And both guys have gotten a lot better since then. Of course, Dos Anjos putting on just an absolutely stellar performance in wrestling the title away from Anthony Pettis. And Donald Cerrone has been nothing short of amazing and has been incredibly active. And this is a fight that he's earned without a shadow of a doubt. And of course, Junior Dos Santos versus Alistair Overeem, that's a fight we've been asking for a long time. And a lot of heated words exchanged between the upcoming streaking Michael Johnson and a guy who's still, Nate Diaz, motivated and in shape, is one of the most talented guys in the 155-pound division.
1 week from tonight, live on Fox. Great to be here inside the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena middleweight time, Joe. The top 5. Of course, Weidman and Rockhold gonna fight for the title. Jacare and Yoel Romero coming up very, very soon.
And what a spectacular matchup of grapplers. You're talking about arguably one of the all-time best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys in this division, Jacare Souza at 185 pounds, and Yoel Romero, arguably one of the all-time best wrestlers. Both of these guys are amazing athletes. Both of these guys have complemented their grappling technique with spectacular knockout power. It's an amazing, fast twitch, muscle chaos experience, and we're gonna see it any minute now.
The Fantastic Four set to battle here at UFC Aldo versus McGregor. The Olympic silver medalist Yoel Romero has smoothly transitioned into one of the top middleweights in the UFC. Tonight, though, he faces another very tough task against the one, the only, Jacare Souza. With Chris Weidman already defending his UFC middleweight title against Luke Rockhold in tonight's co-main event, the next man to challenge the winner may be determined on this same UFC 194 card as Jacare Souza faces off with Yoel, Soldier of God Romero.
Bueno, Jacare es un extraordinario peleador. Está invicto en el UFC. Desde que entró está invicto y eso habla muy bien de sí. Pero creo que todo hombre tiene debilidad.
Romero nunca encarou atleta como eu, porque eu coloco meu jogo em prática. Eu faço o adversário lutar nas minhas regras. E é isso que eu vou fazer.
A 2000 Olympic silver medalist in freestyle wrestling for Cuba, Romero has turned into a knockout artist in MMA, with 5 of his 6 UFC wins coming by way of strikes. In his most recent octagon battle, Romero halted former UFC champion Lyoto Machida in the 3rd round, earning the Soldier of God Performance of the Night honor.
Para pelear contra Jacare hoy hay que ser un verdadero peleador de artes marciales. Pelear en cualquier distancia, en cualquier estilo. Y voy a pelear con él en el estilo donde caigamos.
A renowned submission artist from Brazil who has added a lethal striking game to his arsenal, former Strikeforce champion Jacare extended his current win streak to 8 when he submitted Chris Camozzi in a little over 2 minutes, setting the stage for tonight's showdown with Romero.
Yoel é desafio grande para minha carreira, é desafio grande que eu tenho essa noite, mas eu vou superá-lo, porque eu me preparei 100% para isso. Eu vou provar isso dentro do octógono.
It's interesting because to a lot of the hardcore fans, this fight is unfortunate They want this fight to happen because it's going to be an awesome fight between two very, very talented fighters, but it's unfortunate that either one of these guys could be fighting for the title. They're most certainly that good. Yoel Romero might be the best athlete in MMA. And when he's one of those guys that even at the weigh-ins, like, you can't believe he only weighs 185 pounds. I mean, he is an athletic specimen and just an absolutely phenomenal amateur wrestler. The only thing that he might have going against him is that he came into MMA relatively late in his life, and Father Time is an opponent that nobody beats. Right now, he's 38 years old as he steps into the octagon against arguably his toughest test in MMA to date. Just a bundle of fast twitch, muscle fiber, explosion, and wrestling talent.
Joe, this fight was supposed to be at UFC 184, then UFC on Fox in April. Finally, we get the matchup. And what a matchup it is. With perhaps the winner getting the next shot at a middleweight belt.
Well, this is another one of those fights where you're like, man, what is going to happen when these guys go after it? Look at that. That's a freak, folks.
Like I said, Ricardo Laborio, an American Top Team, full, Joe, of great, dynamic, powerful athletes, said, this man is the best of the best.
Yeah, he's the freak of freaks. When he moves inside the octagon, there's certain movements that he makes, certain techniques that he executes where you just can't believe how powerful and fast this man truly is. And talented. And very technically skilled as well.
It is a high-stakes matchup. Five and 0 inside the octagon. Arguably the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist in mixed martial arts history. The Alligator, the former Strikeforce middleweight champion, the Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Jacare Souza.
It's almost unfortunate that Damian Maia decided to go down to 170 because that's the argument. It's between these two gentlemen. Both from Brazil, both just absolutely sensational Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champions. The difference being that Jacare has developed into a dangerous knockout striker, particularly in the Yushin Okami fight. He has worked tirelessly on his striking, done a lot of training at Black House, done a lot of training at Rain with Mark Munoz, and just focused so much on his overall MMA game that out of nowhere, this knockout striking just started to appear and manifest itself over the last couple of years. And again, like I said, the Yushin Okami fight was probably the best example of that. Very fast, and his arsenal of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques is unparalleled.
13 career wins by submission, guillotine, forearm triangle, 3 rear naked choke, Kimura, 3 armbar. Winner of 8 straight, 12 of his last 13.
He's also very creative in the way he achieves positions. His jiu-jitsu game is very difficult to predict, and if you look at the armbar that he got in the last Chris Camozzi fight, it's just a work of art. I think I've watched that transition about 50 times. He's one of my all-time favorites to watch. What's interesting about this fight, Mike, is that both of these guys are at their peak right now as mixed martial artists. Both these guys were amongst the very best ever in their respective disciplines of wrestling and grappling. And I think they're facing each other at an amazing time. And either one of these guys could easily have been fighting for the title in a very competitive matchup against the champion, Chris Weidman.
Well, in 2011 in Strikeforce, Souza fought for the title against none other than Luke Rockhold. Defeated that night by Rockhold, has not lost since. The Alligator entering the octagon. Weidman, Rockhold next, but first, Jacare and the Soldier of God, Yoel Romero.
This is one of 3 fights in a row that I couldn't hazard a guess as to what's going to happen when these guys collide.
Great part of our job is we're about to find out. Our tale of the tape for this marquee middleweight matchup brought to you by the new movie The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson, in select theaters December 25th. Jacare 36, Romero 38. Romero with a slight reach advantage. Once again, the veteran voice of the Octagon, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 10 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by Pinar del Rio, Cuba. Presenting the 2000 Olympics freestyle wrestling silver medalist and the #3 ranked middleweight contender in the world, Yoel, Soldier of God, Romero. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 22 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 186 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting the former Strikeforce middleweight champion and the #2 ranked middleweight contender in the world, Jacare Souza. When the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Mark Goddard, our referee. #2 against #3. Here at UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor.
Okay, gentlemen, here we
Jacare.
go. Are you ready?
Yoel Romero. Here we go. White trunks for Romero. Black trunks for Jacare Souza. Southpaw. Romero, orthodox Souza.
Jacare plods forward, throws hard strikes, closes the distance. Yoel is very relaxed and loose until he explodes. And he has worked very hard on managing his energy inside the octagon because he's had some problems in the past where he kind of gassed out a little bit, got fatigued. So he's really gotten very good at relaxing until he explodes. And he lulls guys to sleep. And then out of nowhere, you see lightning fast, explosive power.
I mean, considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest wrestler for over a decade. Silver medalist at the Olympics, swing to the body from Souza. Just look at the build of Romero, those legs. Looks like a football fullback.
Jacare putting a lot of pressure on him right now. Jacare, again, supremely confident in his striking. Has really become a dangerous knockout artist.
Brazil versus Cuba here. And we got the Irish fans being vocal once again.
What we've never seen with Yoel is Yoel try to fight his way out of a submission either.
Yeah.
Especially against a guy as talented as Jacare.
10-1, Yoel Romero.
Jacare, respectful of Yoel's power, hands up, chin tucked.
Romero has not lost, Joe, since 2011 as well. There's that little burst you talked about. Not full strength, just keeping his opponent at range and keeping his attention.
See how relaxed he is?
Yeah.
What we saw in the Lyoto Machida fight, when he decided it was time, he just swarmed him and smashed him into the ground.
Performance of the night for Romero against the Dragon. A lot of mutual respect here as well, Joe.
Cuffed him with that one. Really didn't hit him with the fist, kind of caught him with his wrist. Jacare looking for the opening for that straight right hand. or the front kick. Loves that front kick to the body. Perhaps hoping that Yoel jumps on it so he can grab his neck.
We talk about the great skills possessed by Jacare, the great grappling skills that have led him to so many victories. But keep in mind, Romero trains at American Top Team. So he sees animals who can grapple and submit every single day in practice.
Jacare surprisingly flat-footed, Mike. Oh, he got caught with a spinning back fist. He's hurt. He's stunned.
A lot of time remains. Jacare saying, come on down.
And Yoel's coming down. Look at this.
Hammer fist. Powerful.
He's got to be very careful getting stuck in the guard.
Really looking to finish it right here, Romero.
He's given Jacare an opportunity to survive, though.
Let's see if he gets up here soon, Joe.
It seemed like he'd be better off if you let him stand back up.
Right? Romero confident. Oh, those are big shots right there.
Oh.
Vicious ground and pound by Yoel Romero.
He's swinging wide shots here.
Elbows.
Hard elbows inside. Jacare's trying to cover up, trying to control the biceps.
Good posture by Yoel Romero.
Oh! Almost.
Yep.
Look how quick he threw that up. Yoel defended.
More
that
big
one got
shots.
Through.
30 seconds.
Oh, big
huge
elbow.
Oh, and another.
Jacare trying to look for an armbar here.
20 seconds. Can he get it?
No. Pulled right out of it.
Huge first round for Yoel Romero.
Big
and
uppercut.
He continues to pour it on. Joey connected with the spin and then punished him on the ground.
Big round for Yoel Romero. And Jacare gets up very slowly. He's dazed, Mike. Wow, he's wobbly. He could barely walk.
All right, now let's recuperate. Relax. That's it. Are you well? Okay. Just breathe. That's it.
Let's take a look at the spinning back fist that started it all off. Look at this. Wow! Right on the jaw. Let's take one more look at it here. Bam! And Jacare's legs give out. And here's some of the ground and pound by Yoel Romero. Jacare is still in big trouble, Mike. He's still wobbling, just standing here. What's going on? Oh, not this again.
Glimpses.
Well, the opposite way. When he was hurt against Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
But like, you know, corners have to know you can't do that. You can't pour water all over the guy.
Mark Goddard got control of the situation quickly. Put these guys right into action for round two.
Jacare still could be walking while out right here. He could be completely out on his feet because he was so wobbly when he went back to the corner, Mike. And Yoel just relaxed and patient, looking to explode on him.
Like the featherweight champion, Jose Aldo, Jacare grew up in the tough streets of Manaus as well. Up the middle.
Look at Yoel.
So confident.
So relaxed, too. Just Jacare looking for that right hand, but Yoel gets his hand up.
Jacare got pneumonia, UFC 184. Romero had a ligament meniscus tear on Fox. They finally meet here as a precursor to a middleweight title fight.
Well, the more time goes on here in this exchange, standing up like this, the more Jacare gets to recover. The question is, how much can he recover?
Right.
I mean, he took some bombs, and he could very likely have a concussion right now.
Romero very comfortable, very patient here in round 2.
Well, he'll wait for Jacare to make a mistake. Yeah. Look at it, slams him to the ground.
She throws him aside.
Good luck taking this guy down if he doesn't want to grapple.
The old use your wrestling in reverse.
Yeah, if you had to pick like the biggest athletic freak you've ever seen inside the octagon, it's not a hard pick. You're looking at him right there. That's the biggest freak. And I mean that with all respect.
Absolutely.
I mean, just like he's the outlier of all outliers when it comes to athleticism. And his appearance.
In those legs, you know, like I said, it looks like a football player. Cardinals great. Larry Fitzgerald in attendance here. And probably thinking, hey, this guy could play on our team on Sundays. Jacare needs to try to make something happen.
Jacare looking for the takedown. Yoel has his leg up. Jacare goes in deep. Yoel defends.
Battle of upper body strength now, looking for a little trip. Holding on to the fence. Mark Goddard came over.
Yoel on top. What happened?
He held on to the fence, Joe.
Stand up. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Hold on to the fence.
Stand up, listen. First the fence, look at me. You got top position because of it. I've took it away. You understand me?
Wow.
Do it again, once more. Take that point.
Strong words and an excellent move by Mark Goddard.
Yeah.
Turn back in. He's had the
I
top
like
position.
what he said there. You got top position because of that, and I'm taking it away.
Turn in. Caesar, turn in. Turn in. Turn back in, guys. Let's go.
Mark Goddard reacted quickly.
Wow.
And did a great job getting this fight back to neutral.
That's an excellent referee right there,
Absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen. I like what he did there.
And you could see Romero clearly had a good grip on the cage. Neither man taking over in this round yet. After a big round 1 for Romero. Oh, elbow.
Straight left. Jacare seems to have recovered, Mike. A kick to the body by Yoel. We're seeing some deeper breathing by Yoel and a little bit of slowing of his movement.
When you carry the frame that he does, and Joe, you've talked about it for years, you definitely can get gassed up.
Yeah, and that's why he's got that sort of light, loose, flowing movement before he explodes, but he has slowed down in fights before. And it appears that he's slowing down right now. And that gives an opportunity for Jacare when he lands that right hand. And Yoel shakes him off, but he's making Yoel work.
6-fight win streak, all of those in the octagon.
Good right hand to the body right there by Jacare.
Jacare needs this round, wants to pull even with Romero.
Yoel standing in front of him much more now, Mike, to rest, just relax, and hoping that Jacare doesn't attack. It's like a gamble. You have to figure out when you can be on your feet and move, when you should just take deep breaths and try to recover. But he's most certainly slowed down here. His mouth's open, and even the punches are coming slower.
But keep in mind, Souza took a bunch of punishment in the first 5 minutes.
He certainly did, Mike, but he looks good right now. The way he's moving, he looks like he's recovered. I mean, he's in tremendous shape, and oftentimes when guys are in great shape, they can recover from fierce punishment like that and come back. Beautiful inside leg kick.
Right on that calf. Final seconds of the round.
Yoel with some big, deep breaths as he goes back to his corner. Look at him. That's a tired man. He is exhausted.
Eso es.
They're doing it again with the water on him, and I hope Mark Goddard is on that, because if he wants to get some more time in between rounds, they might soak him.
Keep going. Just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
In the Kennedy fight, Joe.
Cross and hook.
He did
He's
not
putting
get
his
off
head
the
down.
stool
Putting his hands
for
down.
29 seconds.
Let's go.
They're toweling him off. Yep. Ricardo Laborio recognizing that.
UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor, sponsored by EA Sports UFC 2. Fight for the cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? We'll find out tonight who joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2. Available this spring on Xbox One and PS4. Third and final round.
Interesting, Mike. Jacare seems to be the fresher fighter going into this third round, which is amazing considering the beating he took in the first.
Neither man with a decisive round 2. Jacare, as you can see, is going to look to pick up the tempo here with now 4.5 minutes remaining in this fight.
Good front kick to the body by Jacare, and a nice leg kick as well.
Oh, whoa, that was close.
Ducked right into that one.
Absolutely. That could have been lights out. Number 2, Souza. Number 3, Romero. Number 1 and the champ coming up next.
It's interesting, you got to wonder what kind of a pace can Yoel keep up in a 5-round championship fight.
Great point.
Nice straight left.
Whereas Jacare's been in a lot of 5-rounders, Joe.
Yeah, he has, and he knows how to pace himself. Yeah. And he also doesn't carry as much muscle as Yoel does, which requires energy, requires oxygen. Jacare takedown attempt.
So good.
Yeah, beautiful scramble.
2000 Olympics, Sydney, Australia, silver medalist, freestyle wrestling. Romero, one of the only people to defeat Cael Sanderson, and he did it twice. The 2004 gold medalist in Athens. Oh, lead uppercut. Just over 3 now. As dominant as Romero was in the first round, Joe, this round may be the one that gives us our victory. Not sure how round 2 went in the eyes of the judges. We certainly know how round 1 did. Jacare pushing. Jacare. Oh! Romero up against the cage, trying to tee off, looking for a double. Can he get it? Yes.
Look at this.
Looking to advance his position.
Jacare with the takedown. On top, looking for an arm triangle, wanting to pin down the right arm. In half guard. Trapping him in place here, looking for his openings. Note how he's keeping the half guard, Mike. See how he's got his legs triangled?
Yep.
Now he's opening it up. He's going to try to push his knees closer to the body of Yoel Romero without allowing Yoel to get his right knee in play. He doesn't want to get that right knee in play.
Good shots by Jacare. In this third and final round, under 2 minutes remain in the fight. Romero on the bottom for the first time.
And he's going to try to pop that left leg over the top and out. He's essentially out of half guard right here. It's his choice to stay in this position right now. And he's holding him here, punching his leg. That's interesting. Holding Yoel down, but Yoel trying to scramble.
Big elbows now from Jacare. Under 90 seconds, more big shots by Souza.
Jacare softening him to the body with these knees. And Yoel tries to get that knee in play and hip escape, but Jacare meets him.
Big round for the Brazilian.
Huge.
Just turned him over from round 1.
But not much time to work here. If he's going to work for a submission, he really should try to advance now. But it's a matter of whether or not he loses this position and
watch your fingers in the eyes, please.
Showing that he's controlling the fight right now.
Work to improve.
And Joe, you could see the takedown take nothing away from Jacare, but Romero didn't really try to fight it off because, as you mentioned, his gas tank very depleted. And this is the result.
Well, I think that's all he had. Yeah. I mean, I think he did try to fight it off, but, you know, it's all he had.
Yep.
So Jacare made an attempt right there at passing half guard, He's not allowing Yoel to get that underhook. Yoel wants an underhook. If he gets the underhook, he'll try to stand back up with it.
20 seconds on the clock.
Jacare right in front of us here. Yoel almost back up to his feet, and he's up.
Up. Final seconds of this fight. 10 seconds. Good round for Jacare. They go the distance.
Interesting. Really depends on how they scored that first round. You know, not enough people give 10-8 rounds. And the first round was probably a good example of what should be a 10-8 round.
Yeah,
the question is, do the judges score it that way? Some good judges do when a guy's really badly hurt and damaged.
Take a look at our fight replay, Joe. Sorry, brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
I would think that this final round was 10-9 Jacare, but was the first round with this spinning back fist 10-8. Whack. I mean, he got hurt, he got beaten down on the ground, and he went back to his corner, a wobbly mess. Look at this. I mean, there's a lot of referees who might have stopped that fight. When you see him get up and wobble like that, there's a lot of corners that might have stopped that fight. But Jacare recovered in the second and landed some good shots. Look at this. And here's the surprise. Jacare finally gets the takedown. And Yoel Romero just did not have the gas to stop him.
Yep.
Could not get back up until a couple minutes later. Jacare did some good damage from that position. Really interesting to see how this fight scored.
It's in the hands of the judges now. Jacare, winner of 8 straight. Yoel Romero, winner of 6 straight. Tons of mutual respect. The soldier god, the Brazilian, Jacare Souza. Time for our official decision, brought to you by Metro PCS, where you get nationwide coverage on the blazing fast 4G LTE T-Mobile network for just $30 period. Once again, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Glenn Trowbridge scores it 29-27, Romero. Lester Griffin scores it 29-28, Sosa. And Tony Weeks scores it 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Yoel, Soldier of God, Romero.
Like Joe talked about, that big first round, such a key to this victory for Romero. Winner by split decision.
I'm here with the winner, very happy Yoel Romero. Congratulations, sir. You had him badly, badly hurt in the first round. It looked like the fight was going to be stopped. Were you surprised he was able to survive?
Yes. It's very surprising for me. I have big respect for Jacare because I feel a very hard punch in the face, but he continued. I have big respect for this guy.
In the second round, he seemed to have recovered and you slowed down. Were you pacing yourself because of the barrage that you put on him in the first round?
No. And myself, I know this is a big guerra, war. I know think in my scene, I finished in the first round. I think we had one fight like this, you know? When he continued, I say, that's what you think, and now you need to go, and now you need to go, bro.
When you heard the scores and you heard that he had won on one judge's scorecard, were you concerned about the decision, especially considering he took you down in the third round?
Say the question again.
I said when he heard the score and that it was a split decision, was he concerned that he had been taken down the third round and perhaps he could have lost?
Cuando viste los números y viste que era una decisión a la mitad, estabas preocupado con el tercer round, güey.
Believe me, Joe, I believe in God. I know I win. You know what you're doing, so you lose or you win. I know I win.
Well, this was an excellent fight between two of the very best guys in this division. Coming up next, we have, of course, the championship bout between Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold. This victory most likely puts you in line as the next person to challenge for the title.
Joe, I am ready.
You're ready.
I am ready for everybody.
Congratulations, sir. Yoel Romero, ladies and gentlemen.
Soldier of God, Yoel Romero, winner by split decision. And he will be a very interested spectator of our next fight. Look at that, the new champion, Holly Holm, the bantamweight champion, here in attendance tonight. Part of our UFC's 9 Days of Fury, and there she is, the vicious Polish striker, strawweight champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. At 20 years old, Robbie Lawler was branded the Mike Tyson of MMA. 14 years later, the Ruthless One is more dangerous than ever. And January 2nd, he will look to display his supremacy one more time against the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit.
Carlos Condit is coming to finish you.
My game plan, go in there, knock him out.
I come to fight, no matter what happens, I keep coming. I'm the champ, I'm here to stay.
I love to fight, plain and simple. You know, I would do it for free. I'll be thinking the same thing I have before every other fight. Chin down, hands up, go out there and take this dude out.
Joe, the interim champion years ago, the former WEC champion, the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit.
And he is an excellent, creative, extremely talented fighter with a really wide range of skills. He's very unpredictable inside the octagon, and he proved that in his fight with Thiago Alves with that beautiful elbow. And some of the things he's been adding to his repertoire. Very talented on the ground as well. Robbie Lawler is a straight-up killer. He's one of the most terrifying guys in the history of the 170-pound division. You want to talk about a guy who was born to fight. Robbie Lawler was born to fight. And he's one of the best mixed martial artists in the world. And as a champion at 170 pounds, he has put on some absolutely spectacular fights, especially the last one against Rory McDonald. What an insane fight that was.
Born to fight against the natural-born killer. You can make the argument these two men are of the same mindset when they go into the octagon. Going to be a great main event, UFC 195, right here, MGM Grand Garden Arena, Saturday, January 2nd, 2016. Jacek Arlovsky as well on that card. So, Lawler and Condit next month. Up next, Weidman and Rockhold, then Aldo versus McGregor. But first, here's a message from UFC President Dana White.
Hey everyone, UFC has teamed up with 7-Eleven to give all of you a chance to win a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Here's what you have to do. Download the 7-Eleven app on your smartphone and then enter for a chance to win the motorcycle. That's it. Simple enough. You can also visit your local 7-Eleven stores for additional ways to enter. Good luck, and we will see you at the fights.
UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor, sponsored by EA Sports UFC 2. Fight for the cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? Find out tonight who joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2. Available this spring on Xbox One and PS4. Weidman gets the edge right here as we check it out. As you, the fans, have been voting on who you think will win our middleweight title fight between Weidman and Rockhold. These results sponsored by DraftKings, the official daily fantasy MMA partner of the UFC. Keep on voting throughout the night for every UFC card. Go to DraftKings.com and draft your MMA team today. UFC 194 has been amazing so far. And now we are just about ready for our 2 title fights. Is finally over.
não acho o Conor um campeão real. Acho que
He will give like they all do. I'm gonna pick him apart. I'm gonna take my title.
He just keeps burying himself with his comments. Just give me more motivation.
Sensational knockout! Unbelievable! Wow! This is crazy!
I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk.
Wow. 2 titles on the line. The first one at middleweight, where Chris Weidman has never been defeated. In fact, he is a perfect 13-0 in his mixed martial arts career. Luke Rockhold, the latest challenger against the All-American.
This is the fight. I mean, this is the fight in the 185-pound division. This is the fight that has the experts scratching their head. You look at the kicking technique, the movement of Luke Rockhold. You look at the gritty toughness and the wrestling of Weidman. You look at how Rockhold dominated Lyoto Machida, beat him down on the ground and strangled him. You look at how Chris Weidman beat down Vitor Belfort in his last fight. This is the fight to make. This is the biggest, most competitive fight, at least on paper, in the history of the division.
Luke Rockhold was the last middleweight champion in Strikeforce history. He trains in San Jose with Daniel Cormier and Cain Velasquez, and tonight he looks to bring another belt to AKA by defeating the man who has beat down some of Brazil's all-time best, most notably the greatest of all time, Anderson Silva.
I was not coming into this sport to be second best or make it to the UFC and make a couple dollars. I was in here for one reason and one reason only, to become something great.
This is a man who believes it is his destiny to go down as the greatest fighter of all time. He is undefeated as a world champion, which is incredibly difficult in the talent-stacked 185-pound division. He has this indomitable spirit and this unbreakable will. Great fighters need great opponents. Luke Rockhold is a great opponent. He is highly skilled, he is extremely confident, and he believes that it is his time.
I have the mentality and the ability to go further than anybody, I think, in this game. I have more ways to finish fights than I think anybody out there.
I'm the best around.
I think Weidman is a product of good timing. I think he's fought a bunch of old, deflated Brazilians. I see a slow, sloppy, flat-footed individual that I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna pick him apart. I'm gonna take my title.
At the end of the day, I don't know if he believes the stuff that's coming out of his mouth. He just keeps burying himself with his comments. Just give me more motivation.
I think he knows he's in trouble. I don't think anybody can keep up with me in a 25-minute fight.
I can't wait to see that look of failure on his face when he realizes that it's not going the way he thinks it's gonna go. Sorry, Luke, it's not happening. I'll be the greatest of all time.
Ago, Luke Rockhold walked through the doors of the American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose. Javier Mendez said he was very enthusiastic. He wanted to start right away, that being Luke Rockhold. So he ran down the street, got a $2 mouthpiece, went to a sushi restaurant, got some hot water so he could mold it. He is one of many great athletes from the family. Father, professional basketball player overseas. His brother Matt, a pro surfer. Brother Nate, a high-level volleyball player. And for Luke Rockhold, he believes, Joe, the difference in this fight is his level of athleticism.
Well, it's an interesting aspect of his skill set because he never did any traditional martial arts, but he throws kicks like a guy who has a long background in karate. Very loose and flexible with his kicking technique. But I talked to Javier Mendez about it. And he said he's trained him from the beginning. So it's really interesting, this guy with this kind of wrestling background and surfing and all these different things has the kind of hips and the kind of extension and explosion that Luke Rockhold does.
The challenger steps into our EA Sports UFC 2 prep point. EA Sports UFC 2, fight for the cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? Find out tonight. Who joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2?
One of the most underestimated aspects, or underappreciated or rated aspects of his game is his ground game. We really saw that in the Lyoto Machida fight. This incredible control of Lyoto on the ground. As soon as the scramble went to the ground, he controlled and punished Lyoto and eventually strangled him. And he looks very loose and very confident, stepping in for his first ever world title fight.
EA Sports UFC 2 available this spring on Xbox One and PS4. He is the challenger, coming off a performance of the night honors in his last 2 fights. Luke Rockhold. Tonight, California brashness against New York grittiness. Chris Weidman, July 6th, 2013, shocked the world, knocking out Anderson Silva. Then he beat Silva again, beat Machida, beat Belfort, and tonight he says simply, I'm gonna beat Rockhold.
The moments that give Luke Rockhold confidence are the moments in which Chris Weidman has struggled. The first round with Anderson, when Anderson was landing those leg kicks. The exchanges where Lyoto Machida caught him and stunned him. The beginning of the round with Vitor Belfort, where Vitor caught him and stunned him. Rockhold believes that he can capitalize on those openings in ways that previous opponents of Chris Weidman were unable to do so. He believes that he's better at all those aspects that got Chris Weidman in trouble in the first place. He believes he's a better kicker, he's got longer range, he's smarter with his application of power, and he believes that his time is now.
When he first walked in to train with Ray Longo and Matt Serra, he and his wife were living in his parents' basement, expecting their first child, making $15,000 a year. Ray Longo said he taught classes, privates, but what he always did was leave it all in the training room every single day. And many years later, Joe, this is the result.
Chris Weidman is not just talented, it's not just tough. There's something about his belief in himself that doesn't just empower him, but puts fear in his opponents. He's got one of the most confident attitudes I've ever seen from a professional mixed martial arts fighter. Right up there is Luke Rockhold. When those two guys were standing, talking to each other at the weigh-ins, neither guy, there was no anticipation of possibly one guy getting out of line or pushing or touching each other, but they were both saying why they were better, and they were talking over each other, both with extreme confidence.
Chris Weidman said the only time he was not relaxed going into a fight was his first pay-per-view appearance against Anderson Silva. He feels, Joe, that what you talked about, that mindset and that calmness, will be a huge factor in this fight.
Well, he's certainly been in the big dance before at the UFC, in the world title fights in the UFC. Of course, Rockhold has been in title fights in Strikeforce and has done very well in high-pressure situations, but he was stopped by Vitor Belfort with that spectacular wheel kick KO in Brazil.
And Luke Rockhold has not lost since. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight championship fight, brought to you by the new movie, The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson, in select theaters December 25th. Both men 31. Luke Rockhold 6'3", Weidman 6'2", Weidman 78-inch reach, Rockhold 77. Let's get things started. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Presented by the new movie, The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel Jackson in select theaters, December 25th. And now, this fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 14 wins, 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Santa Cruz, California, presenting the former Strikeforce middleweight champion and the #1 middleweight contender in the world, Luke Rockhold. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding an undefeated professional record, 13 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Baldwin, New York, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, the All-American, Chris Weidman. And the match begins, the referee in charge, Herb Dean.
All right, gentlemen, you've been on the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Let's touch gloves and come out ready to do this.
Yeah, no touch.
Luke just said when they get it started, no touch.
Well, they just touched. That's enough.
There you go. One is enough, right?
I like how he said it, though.
Yep.
Respectfully, he said, look, I'm not here for that.
Yep.
Let's just get cracking.
Weidman, Rockhold, middleweight championship on the line. Here we go. Rockhold, the southpaw, in the white trunks. Weidman in the dark trunks.
The hard left kick of Rockhold is one of his best weapons. And immediately Weidman opens up with a kick of his own.
He's going to look to bury that in the rib cage of the champion. Kicks early from Weidman, 2-time All-American wrestler at Hofstra. Don't forget, UFC has teamed up with 7-Eleven to give fans a chance to win a new Harley-Davidson. Download the 7-Eleven app on a smartphone to win the motorcycle.
Weidman's got his back. Weidman's got his back. He's standing on him with his back. Rockhold's in a bad position here. He's got to try to shake Weidman off his back here.
Luke is in front of his corner, Joe. Crazy Bob Cook, Javier Mendez and company.
The question is, if he's defending, how long does he continue to hold on in this position? He's holding himself up with his legs. He tried to shake Weidman off. Weidman maintained the position for now, but nope, he's off now. Luke is almost out, but Weidman's throwing up a triangle. Weidman's controlling the position still. Look at this, great control by Weidman. Luke got to get that right arm through and out the back. Right now his right arm is trapped between him and Weidman, and now it's free. That was the key to this position. Now Weidman's out. Excuse me, Rockhold's out. Now he's standing up and he's pressuring Weidman here.
Both men Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. Weidman just earned his back in May from Renzo Gracie and Matt Serra. Nice knee to the body
Good hard shot by Weidman. He's going deep for this double, and he's got Rockhold down, but Rockhold's trying to get a Kimura. He doesn't have control of the body, though. Where Weidman has his legs pinned down, he's essentially in side control. Now he is in side control. He's trying to step over, he's trying to take the back again.
Smothering attack by the champion early.
Smothering attack, but so far, good defense by Rockhold, although he just ate that knee.
The minute he took his hand off the mat, Joe, that's when Weidman fired, because he was not a grounded opponent. A lot of energy utilized by both men early.
Let's go Weidman chant reading through the crowd.
A lot of head fighting, too.
Well, this is Weidman's kind of fight. It started out, the hard elbow by Weidman.
Good knee by Rockhold.
It started out on the outside, but this is the type of fight that Weidman thrives in. Clinch warfare.
Both 9-0 in the UFC, 9 straight UFC wins, tied for second with Mighty Mouse. And he's got it again.
Rockhold looking for a guillotine. He's got the neck trapped in here, but his legs are not in play. He's inside control here, but he's holding on to the neck.
Got it locked in pretty good.
But to finish it, he's gonna have to get his right leg underneath Chris Weidman's body and on the other side. He's either got to get to half guard or full guard. Incredibly difficult to finish it from here. He's doing what we call the empty half now. Even though he's inside control, he's hooking that leg, and he's trying to pull it over so he can trap it with his left and then switch his hips to the point where he's in a half guard position. He can utilize his hips. Weidman recognizes that, scoops further to the outside. He's essentially out of danger now. Now, Rockhold has to be careful because of the Von Flue choke. If Weidman continues to move in that clockwise manner, he can start to put pressure on Rockhold's neck if he can get his left arm free.
Luke looking at the clock, taking nice, easy breaths. He's not looking to finish it with every piece of energy, thus potentially gassing himself out. But he is controlling it.
But he's not doing anything here.
Yeah.
What is this? What? They stand him up. Man, that is weird. But man, I think you got to let guys fight out of that.
Oh,
hard
there's that
kick
big
to the body. And he goes up
fires it again.
too. And an inside leg kick.
And the takedown, spin again.
Down, but look at this. Rockhold winds up on top.
Try to get the feet. What a scramble.
Excellent scramble for Rockhold here. And he landed some hard shots there.
Good first round. Weidman back to guard.
On top.
Final seconds of the round. Luke scoots him up against the cage.
What a round.
We need more effort on getting off that fence, okay? We need that center mat, okay? Center mat. Very nice.
I asked you to stay away from the fence. What are we gonna do, buddy?
Breathe.
Just be aware of where you're going to
Breathe. He's tired too. That's your round.
Nice and relaxed.
Nice,
breathe. All you gotta do, I want you to center your breathing.
That's beautiful on the floor. He's not doing shit. He's just holding on and trying to
stall. Okay, breathe. Again, give me the movement. Your head kicks are looking good too, man. Straight right hand. All right, he's gonna be worried for the takedown.
Man, that's a pick'em first round. Weidman early, Rockhold late. Round 2.
Yeah, very interesting first round. Especially considering that scramble where Rockhold wound up on top. And look at the touch of gloves out of respect for the second round.
And you know, Joe, coming into this fight, Weidman had only been controlled on the ground
for
3 seconds.
He hurt him.
Now Rockhold with a punishing strike. Swarming on Weidman, who scoots out of trouble for now.
And here comes the kicks of Rockhold. Oh, there's one right to the body. Hard kicks.
Yeah, I was going to say, watch out for the question mark kick. He'll punish the body and then bring it over the top.
Well, he also punishes the arms. I mean, you don't want to hold pads for Luke Rockhold. You definitely don't want to take one of those shots to the arms.
Round 2, first minute. And that big start for Rockhold.
Is a big weapon. The power in Rockhold's kicks, the difference when they land as opposed to the way Weidman lands is very noticeable.
Chris right in front of him, though.
Well, he knows when to do it and when not to. And there's a good shot by Weidman, but a big difference in the way it impacts.
Oh, there it is, just as
with
we
that
talked
one.
about. Set it up with the body shots and then go high. Look for that head kick finish. Luke coming in said he's faster, more athletic. Javier Mendez said he's never seen Luke this focused.
Very nice leg kick there as well.
Possessed with victory tonight. Southpaw stance by Chris Weidman, unbeaten in his career.
That opens up the leg kick, though. If Weidman doesn't like it from that position, it also cuts his offense down, especially his counters. Beautiful clinch here. Double underhooks by Weidman, defended. Very nice defense. And he eats a kick on the way out.
Physically, this is a great matchup. These guys are the same size.
That power, though. The power that Rockhold shows with those kicks is so different. Those are punishing kicks.
Some fighters will hesitate to kick because they don't want to be put on their back by a great wrestler. No hesitation by Luke here. Boom, over and over. Speed. Crazy Bob Cook saying speed to Luke.
Weidman's looking to connect with punches here. Both guys have taken some damage, particularly Weidman to the body and the arms. Taking some big deep breaths, nice knee to the body by Rockhold. And he'll take a little breather and open up with kicks again.
See some redness.
Question mark kick off the front leg.
See some redness on the right rib cage of Weidman. There's the head kick again by Rockhold.
Nice one.
Over the top. Longo Silla.
Come on, Chris, he's open! Hey, he's breathing, Chris! Come on, Chris! Body kick, let's go! Chris, take it away with the hand! Come on, Chris, double it up! Right
Straight
back!
left.
Weidman, give me a combination!
What Weidman doesn't want to do is stand flat-footed in kicking range.
What Ray Longo wants is him to put some stuff together, some combinations.
Both these guys kind of pace themselves, recognizing that this easily could be a 5-round fight.
My, look at the right leg, also battered from the kicks of Rockhold.
And he goes up high again. Weidman blocks those on the forearm, but man, those can break that bone. He goes to the body again.
Saw it with Randy Couture, Gabriel Gonzaga years ago. Chuck Liddell, Rich Franklin.
Yeah, that is a big weapon, that left kick, a huge factor in this fight. Weidman with a big swing and a miss.
Weidman up against the fence again. Under a minute on the clock here in round 2. Rockhold controlling the striking and adding on.
Weidman looking for that check hook.
You can see, Joe, he definitely has Weidman's attention.
Yeah, again, with that question mark kick, it takes incredible dexterity to do that off the front leg like that. He hasn't been effective with it, but he's showing it.
That's that level of athleticism we spoke of with Rockhold.
Oh, good kick to the body by Weidman. That hurt him. That hurt him.
Rockhold dances back 15 seconds on the clock, round 2.
Good straight left by Rockhold.
Again with a heavy kick.
I got to breathe. Look, Matt around the side. We're letting him back in the fight. Breathe. Come on. When he misses with that left, you follow right back with your right. We went over that. You got to give me some combinations now, man. Press him back and look. The overhand will be there. He's ducking under it now, but it'll be there. Wait till he gets tired. If we got to go to the body, go to the body, man. All right? He's moving his head. We go right to the body. You got to press now. You got to make this guy fight going back.
The kicks of Luke Rockhold, we knew they were going to be a factor in this fight, and here we see him. He blocks that one, but it sends him backwards. Remember, Lyoto Machida knocked Mark Munoz out with a kick he blocked. There's a big right hand by Luke Rockhold. Straight left hand.
The champion, the challenger. Round 3. Again, they touch. Two great competitors fighting for the belt at 185 that was held for so many years by the Brazilian Anderson Silva.
Weidman is standing in front of him in that kicking range. There he lands on himself.
Chris Weidman, he's had a few of those, Joe, not a ton.
But he's pacing himself more. These aren't full power kicks.
Right, more setup kicks.
Yeah, and he seems very fresh coming into this 3rd round. Caught that one.
Rockhold and Weidman have been in a ton of 5-round fights. Kicks and knees. Great attack by Luke.
Again with that check left hook, excuse me, right hook.
Round 3 here. Weidman 6 times scheduled for 5 rounds, including tonight in the UFC. He's only gone past the 2nd round now twice. Machida, the distance. Round 3 here, good kicks. To Chris Weidman
Two
now.
in a row.
Right up the middle, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, they're not full power.
Yeah.
He's just throwing them in there, but he's doing that to conserve his energy. Yeah, that was a full power shot. There's a nice left hand by Weidman.
Down goes Rockhold.
Went down much easier. Rockhold may be fading here.
He connected with that right hand, too.
Weidman stepping over the legs, looking to establish mount, looking to get over that right knee of Rockhold. And Rockhold's using the cage, press his body up against it, try to get back up to his feet. Almost up. Now he's back. But with a big grimace and a lot of energy expended to get back up to his feet. And he may be tired.
Weidman with 3 takedowns. Really controlled Luke in the 1st round. And Luke was able to do the same to Chris. Big striking round, round 2. Good round here for the champ. Swing and a miss by Rockhold.
There's a nice kick to the body.
And he just goes to it over and over, Joe. So confident in that. Don't forget, after our pay-per-view, it's the FS1 UFC 194 post-fight show. John Anik, Daniel Cormier, Brian Stan, Michael Bisping, Ariel Helwani. DC watching his teammate very closely right now.
Again, Weidman with these kicks to the body. He's landed 2 in a row. And even though these might not be full power kicks, they hurt. And they're taking a lot out of Luke Rockhold.
Especially Joey's getting the same spot every time.
Another one.
Luke was leaning on that one too. He's got to be careful.
Again, he goes up high now. And Rockhold shakes his head. Oh, look at that. Went for a wheel kick. And Rockhold takes him down. Rockhold's got his back now. 1 hook in.
Time to work.
Looking for that 2nd hook. He's got it.
Rockhold trying to lock it in.
Rockhold moving to full mount now. Again, the most underrated aspect of Luke Rockhold's game is his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And we saw it in the Lyoto Machida fight. We're seeing him mount the champion here right now. This is huge.
1 minute. Little less now in the 3rd, full mount Rockhold.
You're talking about a guy who regularly trains with 2 much larger championship level men. Daniel Cormier, the light heavyweight champion, and Cain Velasquez, the former heavyweight champion.
Big shots here, Joe.
This is huge.
Big pace by Luke.
He's bloodied up. Chris Weidman is a mess right now.
Luke looking to win the title right here, right now. Big ground and pound on Weidman. Herb Dean all over the action.
Herb Dean's very close to stopping it.
Rockhold continues to batter Weidman.
He's gonna stop it. Weidman is absolutely getting
15 seconds remains in the round.
Nasty elbows. He's trying to defend.
10 seconds in the round.
Oh my God.
Final seconds of the round.
What does it take to stop a fight?
Wow.
That easily could have been stopped. Unbelievable punishment dished out by Luke Rockhold. And Weidman gets up incredibly wobbly. He's falling back to the cage. What a huge round for the challenger.
That's right. Hey, listen to me. Stay nice and relax. Head up. Stay nice and relax. Stay nice and relax. Okay?
Yourself down, Chris. You were winning that round. Breathe. That's it, Chris. You were hitting him with that overhand. We got to follow up. Think right in your arms. You got to give me a couple of combos. We'll get him out. He's got a little balls now.
No power and movement. Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. Okay? You don't have to be. You're no hurt.
And here we see Weidman landed these body kicks over and over again. Again, not full power, but they were landing. And he went for this wheel kick, and that was the beginning of his demise. Rockhold capitalized on that position, moved to full mount, and absolutely battered the champion. A huge, huge round for Luke Rockhold's
championship rounds.
Again with that kick to the body by Weidman.
You saw during the replay, Joe, the doctor checked the cut and said we are still good to go. So the battle continues, and another punishing leg kick.
Another hard kick to the body, and Rockhold again initiates the clinch and see if he can get Weidman down.
Hold the fence. They battle.
Rockhold got to be careful of his neck. Weidman looking to get that guillotine. Rockhold very aware of it, gets out of it. Rockhold now extremely confident about going to the ground with Weidman. After that exchange.
Him down. You heard Ray Longo say, Joe, that Chris was winning that round until this.
Look at that takedown. Incredible.
Great strength, dexterity.
Who's ever done that to Weidman?
And Rockhold.
Weidman obviously is tired because that last round was absolutely brutal, but this is the last place he wants to be right now. After that last round with Rockhold dominating him from the top.
Coming into this fight, Chris Weidman, Joe, had never been taken down inside the octagon, and he had only been controlled, as I said earlier, on the ground for 3 seconds.
Well, he's in a bad, bad place here.
Don't grab the fence.
Full guard now. Luke has got to watch his legs here. And this is, of course, depending upon how much Weidman has left. But Weidman does train with John Danaher, who's one of the most respected leg lock specialists in jiu-jitsu. And the way Rockhold is standing with his legs free and open like that. But Rockhold is just giving him so much punishment to think about.
Chris Weidman went for the spin. Ended up on his back,
Big
and that has changed the whole complexion.
And, you know, that's not a technique he's really proficient at either.
Absolutely.
It's like, it's gonna haunt him. Weidman again trying to secure a guillotine, almost back up to his feet. Rockhold turns the corner, keeps him down.
Midway point of round 4. This fight scheduled for 5. 5-minute round.
Hard shots by Rockhold.
Again with the elbow. Herb Dean looking very closely.
He's moving into side control, stepping over the left knee of Weidman. And he's
Weidman's a mess, Joe.
He's battered and bruised, and he can't see out of one of his eyes.
Wow. 7 head strikes and counting.
That's incredible. And Rockhold steps over it again. Weidman managed to just get that knee in play to keep him in half guard. Oh, man. This is a terrible position.
This may be it. Rockhold continuing to punish Weidman.
That's it.
It is all over. Luke Rockhold is the new UFC middleweight champion of the world.
Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And even more incredible that he did it on the ground. It all came from his ability to dominate position on the ground, move to the mount, and inflict devastating damage.
There he is, Daniel Cormier, coming down from the desk in the corner of his good friend. Both those men have belts at AKA.
That is a huge, huge victory for Luke Rockhold. Just an incredible, amazing world title winning performance. And all of it on that wheel kick attempt. Yep. That wheel kick will haunt Chris Weidman.
There's the former heavyweight champ, Cain Velasquez. What a moment for Luke Rockhold.
And it's still my boy!
Fight Replay brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Vicious ground and pound, especially in round 3. And more the same. He's got Weidman up against the cage. Not quite the full mount, but pretty darn close. Herb Dean right on top of the action. Chris Weidman, the All-American, could no longer intelligently defend himself. And the belt will go around the waist of Luke Rockhold. And what a reaction. The biggest achievement of his athletic life. A devastated former champion, Chris Weidman, defeated for the first time in his professional career.
Come on.
Time now for our official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, where you get nationwide coverage on the blazing fast 4G LTE T-Mobile network for just $30 period. Once again, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 12 seconds of round number 4, declaring the winner by TKO and new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Luke Rockhold.
I'm here with the winner and new UFC middleweight champion of the world, Luke Rockhold. How does that sound, man? What does this feel like?
It's indescribable. Are you kidding me? Won the title in '94. This is a joke. I don't even know. I can't even believe this is real right now.
It was an incredible fight and a very competitive fight up until the moment where Weidman went for that wheel kick. You caught him, dragged him to the ground, and never let go. You achieved mount position, landed some absolutely brutal damage, and let's take a look at it because this was really the beginning of the end of the fight. Take a look at the big screen and enjoy this. He goes for the wheel kick, you got him, you became the first man to ever take him down inside the octagon, and from here, total domination on the ground. What was going through your mind when he threw that kick and you got a hold of him? Can you remember that?
That shit's never gonna happen again, Joe. Not even close. You know, I was a little tired, but you know, he shouldn't be trying that kind of stuff on me. I knew if I got him on top control on the ground, I'm operating at a different level than I believe anybody right now, and so I feel comfortable my whole game. I'm just bummed I got so tired so quick. I had a staph infection, a cellulitis in my foot. I've been on antibiotics last 2 weeks, so it's been a rough one.
When you look at this now, and you look back, considering the fact you're on antibiotics, how crazy does this all feel to you?
You don't even know, like the stuff that happened to me in this camp is indescribable. I just take it as a blessing in disguise. Everything happens for a reason. Make it that much harder on myself. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. You'll lose your mind if you let everything get to you, and you just gotta believe in yourself, stay confident.
When the round ended and you had achieved mount and you were beating him down, I was surprised that the referee didn't stop it. Were you?
I was hoping he would have. I was like, he kind of stopped it at the end, so I wasn't exactly sure. Sucked it up and had to go another round, so whatever. All I care is I got the belt and I got the W and new.
You pulled it off and you were the new champion. Congratulations, sir. It was a fantastic fight to call.
Thank you, Joe. It's been a pleasure.
Luke Rockhold, ladies and gentlemen, the middleweight champion of the world.
The 7th undisputed UFC middleweight champion.
I'm here with the former champion, Chris Weidman. Chris, obviously this is a very difficult time for you. This is your first time losing inside the octagon, first time losing as a professional. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
It's Luke's night, you know. At the end of the day, I'm going home. I got a beautiful family who loves me. I got fans who love me. The God is still good. I'll be back.
The turning point of the fight was when you threw that wheel kick. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I remember throwing that. Yeah, he caught me and broke me down with it. Probably wasn't the smartest move, but I'm gonna go out here and just give everything I have, and you know, all I could do is work hard and keep a positive attitude. If I lose, it's my day to lose.
Well, Chris, you have been a fantastic champion, and I'm sure you will come back and be better than ever, and it was a pleasure and an honor to call your fights, including this one tonight. Thank you very much, sir.
And everybody, thank you. And this is still my boy.
His father's so proud. Very religious family, the Weidmans, and you know what? That is a champion who has now been defeated by Luke Rockhold, the new middleweight champion of the UFC. But trust me when I say Chris Weidman will be back. Look at that, Fitzy's in town. Larry Fitzgerald, Cardinals, outstanding this year. And not just our good friend Fitzy, but also Oscar De La Hoya, one of the greatest of all time, here tonight at UFC 194. Speaking of champions, the champion is ruthless. The challenger is a natural-born killer. Both men look to attack viciously from bell to bell, making Robbie Lawler and Carlos Condit for the welterweight belt a great way to start 2016.
Carlos Condit versus Robbie Lawler is an incredibly important fight, both for the legacy of Robbie Lawler as a champion, both for Carlos Condit's career as a guy who's a former WEC champion, a former interim UFC welterweight champion. It represents two guys who are incredibly tough, incredibly disciplined, and two guys who are at their very best right now. Robbie Lawler, from the time we saw him in 2002 to 2015 now as a champion, has evolved in such a beautiful and spectacular way.
I come to fight, no matter what happens, I keep coming, and I'm trying to knock people out.
Robbie was always wild and aggressive, and he always had great knockout power. He always made exciting fights, but now he has added skills and experience and discipline and maturity. That combination of ingredients has made him one of the most impressive champions in the UFC today. He represents all the lessons of past champions in that division. He's the most ferocious, he's the most determined. He has a true champion's mindset, as does Carlos Condit. We've seen Carlos fight against some of the top contenders in the UFC's welterweight division. He can do it all. He overcomes adversity. He finishes guys on the ground. He has spectacular knockout ability. He has all 8 Muay Thai weapons. He can win with a wide variety of tools.
Carlos Condit with the victory!
UFC 195, right back here inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Lawler, Condit for the belt. Miocic, Arlovsky, so much great action. UFC 195 only
on pay-per-view. So that comes your way January 2nd. Our main event is coming up next, but first, we check in with UFC light heavyweight champion, Daniel Cormier.
Before you watch the UFC's most heated rivalry come to a head in tonight's main event between Brazil's Jose Aldo and Ireland's Conor McGregor, check out a sneak preview of the new movie, The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson, in select theaters December 25th.
A woman out in this white hell? What are you laughing about?
He talks funny.
One of these strangers
I'm taking this woman to hang. Anybody stopping me from doing that?
has a deadly secret.
My theory is one of y'all's working with her.
But he has other plans.
Anybody does anything, kill him. Starting to see pictures, ain't you?
The Hateful Eight, rated R. Select cities Christmas Day, everywhere January 1st.
UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor. Sponsored by EA Sports, UFC 2 Fight for the Cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? Find out tonight who joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2. Available this spring on Xbox One and PS4. And now it's time for our main event of the evening. 5 rounds of fighting for the UFC Featherweight Championship. Aldo McGregor. It is time to fight.
featherweight champion, Conor McGregor, steps into the octagon for the most highly anticipated matchup in the history of the featherweight division, maybe in the history of the UFC.
Fight win streak, unbeaten inside the octagon, as confident, Joe, as any fighter we've ever seen.
As confident and, in my opinion, the best ever at mental warfare, at taunting and climbing inside his opponent's head. The question is, in the time between the last fight that was supposed to take place, Aldo had to pull out, and now, as Aldo got used to the taunting, has he relaxed? Is it less disturbing to him? It seems so yesterday at the weigh-in.
Yes.
Aldo looked very loose, and in fact, the betting line changed radically after those after that weigh-in press.
The notorious one,
Conor McGregor.
A lot of late money on Jose Aldo after the weigh-in.
Fight originally scheduled for July 11th. That's when this man became the interim champion.
There's so many factors in this fight, Mike. The unusual movement of Conor McGregor, his adaptation, use of traditional martial arts techniques like wheel kicks and spinning back kicks and front kicks to the body, as well as the Muay Thai techniques, but a different and unusual rhythm. The breaking up of his attack, varying of his speed, very deceptive in the way he moves, along with ferocious knockout power and an excellent chin. One thing that may be a factor in this fight was when Chad Mendes was taking him down and battering him on the ground. He was unable to finish Conor McGregor, but he took him down several times. Jose Aldo is a much more skilled ground fighter than Chad Mendes.
In 2008, Conor McGregor said it was his dream to be a world champion in the UFC. 7 years later, he's got his chance. Decades, the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet, the only UFC undisputed featherweight champion, 25-1, Jose Aldo.
Dana White once famously said that Jose Aldo is the greatest fighter ever for 2 rounds. And he might have been exaggerating in that, because Aldo does fight very well into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, but the point being that he does tend to slow down. He attacks viciously, establishes a position of dominance, establishes a lead, and then tends to coast. He did that with Uriah Faber, he did that with Chad Mendes in their 2nd fight, and he did that with Ricardo Lamas in a fight where, by the end of the 5th round, a fight where he was dominating in the beginning, at the end of the 5th round, Ricardo Lamas was on top of him. The speculation has always been that he has a hard time cutting weight to make this 145-pound weight limit.
The champion steps into our EA Sports UFC 2 prep point. EA Sports UFC 2, fight for the cover. It is his fight right here, right now. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? Find out tonight who joins Ronda Rousey. On the cover of EA Sports UFC 2, available this spring, Xbox One, PS4, 7 straight title defenses. 18 straight victories.
Another factor in this fight may be Aldo's training. He brought in Andy Sauer, who's a multiple-time world champion kickboxer. That's hard Dutch-style kickboxing, which Aldo employs inside the octagon. He did a lot of extensive sparring with Andy Sauer. It's a very high-level guy to have in your camp when you're kickboxing. This will be a battle in many ways between styles. The hard-style Dutch kickboxing and the eclectic karate-based style that Conor McGregor employs, along with his spectacular boxing technique and knockout power.
Our tale of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. Brought to you by the new movie, The Hateful Eight, starring Samuel L. Jackson, in select theaters December 25th. The champion, 29. The challenger, 27. The interim champion, 2 inches taller. Conor McGregor will have a 4-inch reach advantage.
with the official introductions. One more time, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by EA Sports UFC 2, Fight for the Cover. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman Anthony Marnell, Executive Director Bob Bennett, Commissioners Francisco Aguilar, Skip Evansino, Pat Lundvall, and Michon Martin. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Saul Diamato, Derek Clearly, and Junichiro Kamiho. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, John McCarthy. This bout is sponsored by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Metro PCS, where you can get nationwide coverage on the blaring fast 4G LTE T-Mobile network for just $30 period. And EA Sports UFC 2, Fight for the Cover. Will it be Aldo or McGregor? Find out now. And now, this is the moment UFC fans watching around the world have been waiting for. Live from the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Featherweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 18 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, presenting the pride of Ireland, the challenger, the interim UFC Featherweight Champion, the notorious Conor McGregor! And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 25 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting the former WEC Featherweight Champion and the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC Featherweight Champion of the world, Jose Aldo Jr.
Rules in the back, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. I want you to fight hard, but I want you to fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good, step back, good luck.
Big John had that one under control. Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor. The most highly anticipated featherweight fight of all time.
Conor looks extremely loose, and Aldo looks like he's feeling the pressure of this moment.
Here we go! Green trunks for the southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks for the champion, Jose Aldo Jr.
Conor relaxed and smiling. Oh! He slipped him!
Conor McGregor is the new UFC Featherweight Champion of the world!
Oh, unbelievable! The first punch he threw slept him.
Wow.
Well, we're going to have to see that again. Did he throw a punch before that, or was that the first punch he threw? I think he went to throw a left and missed before that. So it might be the third punch he threw. But man, wow, he just went over and hugged Jose Aldo, and Aldo had a look at his face like he had no idea what was going on. He's holding his hands up. He's confused right now. He's saying, what happened? Legitimately one punch KO. Let's see it again.
Watch it. Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Boom! Boom. It was a straight left, and Aldo connected with a left right afterwards, and he connected as he was getting knocked out. Look at that. Boom. And then hammer fist, out cold. And that's it. That's incredible. One more look at it. Boom. Left hand, out cold, hammer fist. Incredible that he connected with a punch as his brain was shutting off. Let's look at it one more time. Straight left. And boom. It doesn't get any cleaner than that, ladies and gentlemen.
First time Jose Aldo has been knocked out. Conor McGregor, the notorious one, the new UFC undisputed featherweight champion of the world. First man to beat Aldo in over a decade. Fastest title fight finish ever, bettering Ronda Rousey's 14-second armbar. Jose Aldo in shock and disbelief. No one would have predicted that. Truly amazing. First punch and the finish. Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy's called a stop to this contest at 13 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor.
Just wow. No controversy, no confusion, clean. The new, undisputed featherweight champion of the world, Conor McGregor. Give me your thoughts.
Again, nobody can take that left-hand shot, but I tell you, he's powerful and he's fast, but precision beats power and timing beats speed, and that's what you saw there. So honestly, I feel for Jose. He's a phenomenal champion. He was a phenomenal champion. We deserved to go a little bit longer, but I still feel at the end of the day, precision beats power and timing beats speed all day of the week, so it would have happened sooner or later. But
Conor, let's look at it. He moved in, you slid to the side and landed a beautiful left hand on the chin, and he landed a left hand of his own as he was going out cold. Went down, you finished him off with hammer fist. Look at it one more time from a different angle.
no power, just precision. No speed, just timing. These are fundamentals, so that's all it takes. These are 4-ounce gloves. That's all it takes, and especially when you add my left hand. Nobody can take that left-hand shot.
You looked incredibly relaxed coming in here into the octagon. How did you feel in comparison to your first title fight with Chad Mendes? Give me your thoughts on what this experience has been like for you and the love of all these Irish fans that have come here to support you.
I swear to God, yesterday at the weigh-in, I didn't want to get off the stage, because the last time in July when I fought for the belt, that time, I didn't embrace it all, and I wanted to just embrace every bit of it a bit more, because sometimes it's over before you even know it, and then you're like, I wish I was in the moment a bit more. So this time, I was a hell of a lot more in the moment and just enjoying the whole process.
Well, congratulations, sir. You are now also on the cover of the new EA Sports game, along with Ronda Rousey. You are the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world. You did it all, sir. Congratulations.
Ireland, baby.
Kavanaugh, his longtime trainer.
I'm here with the former champion, Jose Aldo. Jose, how much, if any, of the fight can you remember?
Você consegue lembrar alguma coisa da luta?
Ele jogou direto no meu peito, eu esperava isso. E quando eu fui atacá-lo, ele acertou um bom direto. Aí pegou ali, mas eu creio que essa luta aí, eu acho que agora a gente tem que partir para uma revanche, que acho que não termina daí, né? Eu acho que foi muito rápido ali. Ele acertou um bom golpe e conseguiu acabar com a luta.
Yeah, he threw a cross on my chest, which I wasn't expected. Then I threw a punch and he came back with another cross, and that was that. I think that we need the rematch. It was really not a fight, so we need to get back in here.
It was certainly a fight. It was just a fight that happened and ended very quickly. How much of all of his taunting and all of the insults, how much did that affect you, and what was that like to be disrespected like that?
A luta ocorreu, só que ocorreu muito rápido, né? Tudo que ele falou, tudo que aconteceu, como que isso te afetou aqui na luta?
Ah, não afetou em nada, não, cara. Ele pode ter falado o que for. Eu nunca caio em provocação nenhuma, cara. Eu fico bem, com a cabeça bem tranquila ali dentro. Eu tenho que chegar lá dentro e fazer meu trabalho. Ele foi feliz hoje, acertou um bom golpe. Eu acho que a gente tem que partir para outra agora. Agora eu tô esperando a revanche aí. Que se eu fizer na próxima, eu vou estar muito mais treinado e reconquistar o que é meu.
It didn't affect me at all. I really don't care what he says, and you know, we're gonna have to come back here, and it's on to the next at this point.
You've had some amazing fights and an amazing reign as a champion, and I look forward to seeing you inside the octagon again. Thank you very much for everything.
Valeu, galera do Brasil. Muito obrigado aí pela torcida, energia positiva de todo mundo. Isso faz parte, é um esporte. A gente perdeu hoje, mas se Deus quiser, a gente perdeu a batalha, não a guerra. Se Deus quiser, eu vou voltar mais forte, conquistar para vocês. Muito obrigado pela torcida de todos. Valeu, galera. Um grande abraço e com Deus.
Thanks for everyone watching in Brazil. This is a sport. It's a fight. This will happen. Thanks for everyone staying up. I'll be back.
Jose Aldo, ladies and gentlemen.
First loss in over a decade. Our official decision was brought to you by Metro PCS, where you get nationwide coverage on the blazing fast 4G LTE T-Mobile network for just $30 period. And now, as we know, with the victory, Conor McGregor joins Ronda Rousey on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2, available this spring on Xbox One and PS4. EA Sports UFC 2 invites you to finish the fight, just like McGregor did in only 13 seconds. Check it out on easports.com/UFC. And the next time we see all of you on pay-per-view, we will be right back here inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena when the Ruthless One collides with the natural-born killer.
Winning the belt was an amazing step, but I'm not done. I'm not ducking or running from anybody.
I'm driven to get that title, and I can finish anybody in the division. This fight's gonna be violent.
UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor, has been brought to you by Harley Davidson, the only motorcycle worthy of being in the octagon. Roll your own.
What a moment for Conor McGregor.
I think the MGM is going to run out of beer.
I think it might have already. The celebration begins here in Vegas, continues in Ireland.
Yeah, the Irish people are going to celebrate at a level that is probably unheard of in the past. Wow, I mean, you couldn't have a more clean, decisive victory. And it's exactly what Conor predicted. He said it would be in the first round, and he said no one can take his left hand. Both those things proved to be true.
I'm pretty sure, though, Joe, he never said it would be in 13 seconds.
It was just stunning. I mean, he caught Aldo coming in, and I gotta think that all the taunting and all the mental warfare that Conor engaged in so masterfully played a factor in the nervousness and the tension that we saw in Jose Aldo, but at the end of the day, none of that mattered. It was all about the power, and as he said, the precision of that one-punch knockout Just absolutely stunning.
It absolutely is. Conor McGregor, first one to defeat Jose Aldo in over a decade. 4-ounce gloves, big connection, goodbye champion.
Look at this again. Perfect. And Aldo lands the left hand after he was out cold, which is incredible. But just the momentum of his punch. I mean, he falls completely out cold, and then Conor hammers him with this hammer fist. He flattens out. Big John stops it. The Irish celebrate.
Yes,
I mean, it's that
indeed.
simple. We have the biggest superstar in MMA without a doubt now. There is no confusion. There's no dispute. There's no debate. That's the guy.
It absolutely is. Jose Aldo, very humble, very classy in defeat. He said, hey, we got to do this again. We need to go back and forth. I'll be back. I believe
Well, I would say, I don't necessarily think that's what he said. I think what he said was it wasn't really a fight.
That's my point.
But it wasn't really humble. I mean, it was just, he was upset and confused and frustrated. Look, he got knocked dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a fight. It was a fight. It was a fight that ended real quick. And it ended exactly how Conor thought it was going to end. I mean, it was just, what he's done inside the octagon has been pretty stunning. And what he did tonight was nothing short of amazing.
Dana White has promised Conor McGregor Croke Park in Ireland. About 80,000 Irish fans. Will it be a rematch with Aldo?
I don't see why they would have a rematch right now after that fight. It's very hard to justify a rematch when somebody knocks someone out so decisively in the first round. However, Frankie Edgar just knocked out Chad Mendes in the first round, and that would be an absolutely sensational matchup, and a matchup that I think is a long time coming. I think if anybody has earned a shot at the featherweight title, it's this man right here, Frankie Edgar. I mean, what a spectacular knockout he just landed on Chad Mendes. Conor McGregor lands a spectacular knockout on Jose Aldo. In my opinion, that's a no-brainer.
Anderson Silva got caught tonight. Jose Aldo got caught. Time will tell who will be next to go against Conor McGregor. But tonight belongs to the Notorious One. Don't forget, coming up on FS1, the UFC 194 post-fight show, John Anik and the guys will give us all the breakdowns from some great fights all night long. Joe, what an honor to call this one with you.
What a crazy night. Just absolutely amazing.
Ronda Rousey, 14 seconds, no longer the record. It is Conor McGregor, winner by knockout tonight in the title fight in just 13 seconds.
Here's what's coming up inside the Octagon. Next Saturday, the UFC stops down in Orlando, Florida. The lightweight title is on the line as Javier Dos Anjos faces Donald Cowboy Cerrone. It's Box UFC Fight Night. Dos Anjos versus Cowboy 2. And the main card begins at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then on Saturday, January 2nd, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's a fight fan's dream as Robbie Lawler puts his welterweight title on the line against Carlos Condit. Don't forget, following tonight's event, you can watch the post-fight press conference live on UFC.com. And tune to FS1 for the UFC 194 post-fight show with John Anik, Daniel Cormier, Brian Stan, Michael Bisping, and Ariel Helwani.
The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producer, Zach Candido. Tonight's show, produced by Bruce Connell, directed by Anthony Pasquale Giordano. The Blessed Hawaiian with a big win. Then Damian Maia. He says, I have a chance to be a champion in the UFC. And man, was he dominant against Gunnar Nelson here tonight. Brazilian wins that one. Then, look at this man. The Olympian, the Cuban, the Soldier of God against Jacare. Yoel Romero with a dominant round one. He wins the decision. And man, is he ready for what comes next. Then, in our co-main event of the evening, unbeaten Chris Weidman against Luke Rockhold, the former Strikeforce middleweight champion, who showed off some vicious ground and pound, and he leaves to bring another belt back to AKA. Then, in our main event of the evening, the matchup would finally happen. Jose Aldo Conor McGregor. Who would have ever thought the fight would last just 13 seconds, with the notorious one leaving as the new champ. For my partner Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg saying so long until next time. We see you right back here inside the Octagon.